Hello, gamers, and welcome to episode 384 of the Super Ultra Podcast Arcade. We are recording this on August 13th because we had some technical difficulties last week during recording. So you will be hearing our sports talk and what we've been watching and what we've been playing from last week. And then you will be hearing the Flashback segment beginning this week with our covers, as we do each month.
Oh, yeah, and we still have some flashback from last week that we did.
Yeah.
So it'll just be, so we will have last week's flashback. Then when we get to the covers, that's when it's all this week's stuff.
Yes, it will be seamless.
Yeah, sort of. You probably hear a difference. Well, all right, so let's get this started.
All right. Hello, gamers, and welcome to episode 384 of the Super Ultra Podcast Arcade for August 7th, 2022. I'm one of your hosts, Daniel Nicholson, and with me is my co-host, Dominic Stallworth. What's going on this week, Dominic?
What's going on this week? We had a few things going on this week. It's been an all right week, though, so far. Still, the beginning of August, so I'm trying to get through this month, get through this, get to September, get to some football, the football season. And also, there's the dog days of summer where you got baseball fighting for the playoffs. So I'm rooting for those O's.
Yeah.
I'm going to start right to it. I'll get right into it. O's, they're looking good. They won as of this date. They won 5 games in a row. 5. Yep, I'm right. 5 games in a row, and they are 1 game back from the playoffs, I believe. But they did trade some guys. They did trade Mancini like we thought they were, and he's on Houston, so he's on a good team. So I'm kind of rooting for Houston. Kind of rooting for Houston because of their manager anyway. So now that Mancini's up there, I'm happy. And guess what? I definitely know this. His first 3 hits on Houston were all home runs.
Oh, wow.
Including a grand slam. So I was like, man, look at him. And then Jorge Lopez, which I did not think they were going to get rid of. I didn't even hear about it. Mm-hmm. Our closer, who was doing pretty damn good. They gave him to a team that I don't know right now. But he's somewhere on a team fighting for the playoffs also. I want to say it's either like one of those Midwest teams. But I heard that he did blow a save for somebody said, "Oh, Jorge Lopez blow a save" or something like that. But still, he was doing all right for us. He was our only All-Star.
Yeah.
So I think the Orioles are looking at like, hey, we got a lot of prospects back here, so we can use them to get some more prospects. I was like, maybe all we're gonna get is a bunch of prospects. And all these prospects.
A minor league team, Dominic. We train these people up so they can get ready for the big leagues.
So basically, everybody just gotta thinking like, I guess I think it's Elias or Ellis, I forgot our general manager name because I'm still thinking about the old one. But people say he maybe is throwing in chalk for this year. He's looking to the future, I guess. But these guys still winning, and so it's like, so I don't know. But anyway, it's like, I guess we didn't throw in the towel. Well, at least the guys didn't. These guys on the field didn't. So yeah, but this is getting to I look at the schedule. This is a tough schedule, being as though that we're playing mostly our division. And unfortunately, our division is the best division because everybody's got a winning record. So we only play the Yankees, I think, either 3 or 4 more times. I forget. So that's the only good thing. Even though the Yankees are kind of on the downhill, they're not the best team in the league no more. It's the Dodgers now. And Houston, last time I saw, they were like just a game behind them. So, yeah, Yankees they're not looking as dominant as they were. Like I said before, I wouldn't be surprised if they lose in the playoffs, especially to Houston. To Houston, I wouldn't be surprised because Houston's damn good. The Dodgers, we all thought they were a great team. I mean, they're fucking loaded. They're number 1 in the league with the best record. So that was expected. Soto from the Nationals. I know I kind of left the Orioles thing. Well, I'll go back to Orioles real quick. The Orioles, yes, they're playing most of their division, and it's going to be tough, but also it's a good and bad thing because good thing is, well, the bad thing is like you're playing a lot of these tougher teams, but the good thing is that you're playing teams in your division, which that's the ones you want to beat.
Right.
So hey, so take that. You have to prove yourself that you're one of the top teams. So, but like for the Washington Nationals, they traded Soto, Juan Soto, who's basically their best player. So they got really almost rid of everybody from that was worth a damn on that damn World Series team. He is on the Padres, so where he's with Machado, Manny Machado. So now they are, and they also got Bell from, what was Bell? Was he on Pittsburgh? I forgot what Bell was. Actually, was Bell with Washington too? Because I would think I was watching a Washington game. It's like, oh, I didn't know they picked him up, and that's not I don't think his name's Robert Bell then. It does not look like him. Maybe if I put a baseball player, and maybe it'll help me out here. Nope, that's a white dude. So this is not. Let me put Bell baseball. Josh Bell. I'm sorry, Josh Bell. And I think he's on the Padres now. Yeah, so he was with Washington. Okay. So they traded him. Josh Bell was a pretty damn good player some years ago. I think he's okay now, but he still could be a threat. But yeah, so Washington, they're the worst team in the league this year. So yeah, I know it's like they won a World Series. Their owners are leaving after this year. They like just said, start from the beginning again. Like, god damn. So yeah, so baseball is really getting the thick of things for this playoff race. All right, so let's get to some basketball news. Basketball sad news. We got the great Bill Russell has passed away. As you know, Bill Russell, if you don't know, he was a Boston Celtic. He played for like 13 years, and I think 11 of those years he won championship. So
wow,
it's like, dude just came in winning. and so yeah, he has like the most rings of anybody. And yeah, it was exciting to see him go, but he lived a full life. I think he was 80 in his upper 80s.
Okay.
I believe. So yeah, so he lived a full life. But my favorite quote from Bill Russell is this one. He was talking about Boston, the city of Boston. So, he played in Boston back in the 60s? 62, 70s, I think. Let me see. What was his yeah, he joined in 1956. So wow. So to the 60s. You could just say Boston was a cool place back then.
Some might say it's still not.
Well, yeah. So if you think it's not now,
right?
Just imagine what it was then. So here his quote is that Boston itself was a flea market of racism. It had all varieties, old and new. The city had corrupt city hall, corny racists, brick throwing, send them back to Africa racists, and in the university areas, phony radical chick racists. And then he says, but other than that, I like the city. I'm like, yo, when I heard that quote, I forgot when I heard that quote. It was some years ago. And I was like, wow. Other than that, it was a great place.
Beautiful architecture. Terrible places.
I was like, damn. And like, yeah, he was the star of the team. Like, this man brought in championships, and they were like racist as shit to him still. I mean, crazy. Maybe they probably weren't the basketball fans. I don't know. It's just like, I don't know. It's just so bad. That's so bad that your best player had to experience that in your own city. The guy who's won the most championships in the NBA, and it's his own city that treated him like they had treated him like shit. I mean, he had his good moments. I mean, he did, but just to say that just tells you, like, damn.
Yeah.
He had to go through some stuff, man. Oh man, but yeah. Great players gone now. Well, some people will say he's even the best player in history. Thing with me, I didn't live back then, so I didn't get to see him play. I always say, well, Michael Jordan, in my time, is the best player in my history, basically, because I couldn't see the guys before then. Like, I'll take your word for it. if you're a guy who's seen him play, I'll take your word for it. I don't mind. I'm not like those Braun sexuals, who say no, LeBron is the best and that's it. So I gotta stop. I was joking. I'm sort of joking, but yeah, he was a great guy. Oh, and also somebody else passed away, not in sports though. Nichelle Nichols, the actress who played Uhura on the Star Trek, who did the first white black kiss on television, as they always just talk about, which I just hate. that ruined television for me. Say no. Stop. But no, she passed away, and she was in the 80s too. Mm-hmm. Yes, I know. Spock passed away. Chekhov did Chekhov pass away?
The young one did. I don't know about the old one.
Well, I don't know. Yeah, I know the young one did. But what should we call it? He passed away. What's his name?
No. He's still alive. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Good. I thought I saw him
George
somewhere.
Takei is still alive.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure.
I think you still have Captain Kirk. I'm gonna say he's still alive.
Don't. No, Dominic, no. By the time this podcast comes out now,
I haven't seen him do those commercials anymore. What was it? I'm trying to remember. Damn. Travelocity?
Yeah, I think that's right.
Something like that.
One of those travel ones, yeah. Yeah, no, he's still alive. Chekhov's still alive, apparently.
Oh, okay.
He's 85.
What about the fat one?
Let's see. Yes, he died in 2005. Scotty,
yeah. Yeah, I remember seeing Scott, because I think when I was young, I seen Scotty when he was older, and then I saw the old show. I was like, that don't look nothing like him. I was like, that man is skinny.
That's it. Man is skinny and handsome. That can't be him at all. He's an ugly fat man now. Rough, Dominic, rough.
So, anything else in sports happened? Deshaun Watson. I know he got suspended.
Was it like 6 games?
Yeah, 6 games by NFL. Very confusing for me. Very confusing. I know how the process went, though. I know they had a judge come in just to, what's the term here? I don't know. I'm just saying terms right here. But but she basically not really give a ruling, just to get what she thinks should have, because I think they can rule or something. Or they let her rule. I don't have no idea. But yeah, she said there should be 6 games.
Okay.
Because basically she believed that the evidence that the NFL brought out about against him, because they want to give him a year, was good, but they didn't. They don't. Their rules are not set. They don't have a set rule of like,
of course,
what do you get?
Yeah.
And she said she's going by she's going by the previous cases, because they gave people all these different times and not set. So she said by this, she said 6 games. Thing is, I want to know, like, what did they bring that they couldn't do in an indictment? Because I always heard the term that you can indict a ham sandwich. Like, that's how easy it is. I always want to know, what did they bring to her to make it like he was guilty of something?
Yeah.
And that's why I'm confused. I'm like, if it's even one or the other, he's either guilty or, I mean, not. It's like either he's guilty, you can prove he's guilty, or he's not. It shouldn't be like he has to prove his innocence or something. Maybe, but I just find it weird that like you're saying he's 6 games. That means you tell me he's guilty of something. It's like, what are you telling me guilty of? Because if this dude did something, he's a piece of shit. But why couldn't they indict him?
Yeah. And if he did something, why is 6 games what it's gonna be? It seems weird.
Exactly. That's why I say, like, dude, like, even
because the things that he's getting,
I think he should have got a year or nothing, because of like you're just making people who do want him to get a year because they think he is a sexual predator or whatever. They're like, y'all let him off easy,
right?
And then people say this man innocent. Say, man, I get this man 6 games because he had sex with a whole bunch of women.
It's a no-win situation.
It's less than half. But it's, I mean, now conduct. You could say conduct maybe making NF. I guess I don't know what the conduct rule is. I might can go. Maybe he's saying like I don't know, but I guess going to a lot of masseuses. That's pretty bad. I mean, I'm being serious. Like, I can see them spinning it though to something, but not to be 6 games.
Weird, yeah.
Not to be 6 games. I can see you like finding him maybe, or 1 or 2 games something. But like, if you really think he did something to these women, it should be. I mean, it's not on her. Like I said, it's based on what their rules are, and that's NFL's fault. They need to put in place rules specifically. Though to me, it's times are weird because now I'm like, so is he Ben Roethlisberger or not? Like, I need to know because Big Ben, he didn't get nothing. I don't know if he got.
I was going to say, did he?
He didn't get time.
Yeah.
Darn. So I don't know. It's like, so I'm not watching this Predator, or did y'all fuck him over? Because I just don't know why he couldn't get indicted. Because hell, you can get indicted, but you can still win your case. But I'm just like, they didn't get indicted. They threw it out. They threw 20-something women out.
Which seems just crazy.
So, yeah, it's very confusing. So it's like, darn, man, y'all just make it. You just want to watch the games, Daniel. That's all I want to do. Just watch the fucking games.
All right, turn off ESPN. Wait until the games come back.
Yeah, because this is all I hear every time. Look at something. Say, well, we got talking about the Deshaun Watson. People, that's all. Motherfucker, damn. Talk about Oreos, man. They winning. Talk about Oreos winning. Shit.
You gotta watch Masson for that.
God, people. Why can't y'all just read a Bible? Just be with one woman, like the Bible says.
Yes, like the Bible says.
It's like, I don't know what the hell the Bible says. All right. So where are we at? Wrestling. I know you had a big SummerSlam happen.
Oh shit! Yeah, that did happen since we last talked. I was thinking there wasn't much to talk about. I was thinking that I lose track when it's like between weekends or whatever, because that was also Saturday night. Yeah, SummerSlam was pretty all right. It started out with a pretty incredible match with Bianca Belair versus Becky Lynch. Bianca won that, and Becky apparently separated her shoulder. Seems like pretty early into that match. She took a pretty hard landing at some point. And then kind of the big thing at the end of that match was that Becky kind of became a face, kind of seemed like she was going to help Bianca Belair out because Bayley returned. She hasn't been on TV in a very long time due to injury, and then it seemed like she was recovered, but maybe they didn't know where to put her yet, so they were holding off for her. And then along with Dakota Kai, who actually was released from NXT a couple of months ago, and it sounded like the reason she was released, like maybe she even asked for her release, but they released her, or she wasn't looking to re-sign, so they released her. There was something weird there, but it seemed like she didn't really want to be there anymore, which made sense because she kind of just was there in NXT. She had almost like overstayed her welcome at a certain point, but also like nobody really had any confidence that bringing her up to the main roster was going to be good under Vince. Seems like this was a Triple H move to bring her back. And Io Sky now, it used to be Io Shirai. They changed her name because that's what WWE is doing. Io Shirai being her like name before that she came into the WWE, so they like to get their own special branding on it. In the vein of name changes, that's not terrible. But they're now a faction. Io Shirai, Io Sky. People were kind of speculating that she might leave too. It's been a while since she's been on NXT. And again, like, it's just like anybody coming up to the main roster under Vince, people were kind of apprehensive about that now that there are other places that they can lucratively make money. But kind of with that move, people are already like, they were already kind of positive on Triple H taking stuff over. But now they're like getting really behind him. There's a lot of talk now that Naomi and Sasha Banks are going to be returning to WWE and pretty soon. It sounds like, even from Raw following SummerSlam, people were speculating they could be returning then, because I think that news came out on Monday that they had re-signed, even though there's nothing official yet. And then SmackDown, because they were actually SmackDown superstars, so people were expecting to see them on SmackDown. That still hasn't happened. They have announced, though, that the tournament for the women's tag team titles is going to kick off on Monday night, which they were vacated because Naomi and Sasha Banks left. And there was talk that there was going to be a tournament like that first night that they were running them down after they walked out. And then there's been no talk of it ever since. Like, they were just basically writing those titles off. And then now it seems like Triple H coming back is going to actually, put some effort into making that stuff happen. And really it was about that match, and then the Brock Lesnar Roman Reigns match. All the rest of the matches were all right, but nothing spectacular to talk about. There were no title changes, nothing like that. But the Roman Reigns versus Brock Lesnar match was basically just a fucking spectacle. Like, I didn't go into it expecting a whole lot, because we've seen Brock Lesnar Roman Reigns way too many times at this point.
Yeah.
But they did some fun, stupid kind of spots. Brock Lesnar drove a tractor down to the ring, and that came into play.
Yeah, that was pretty funny.
Eventually during the match, like, he throws Roman in the bucket of it and drops him into the ring. And then later in the match, he actually gets the tractor up under the ring and lifts one of the corners up like a significant amount while Roman's in the ring, and he just goes tumbling out. And then that leads to kind of the end where they're all just fighting on the outside of the ring near the announce table. Paul Heyman goes through an announce table. The Usos, of course, show up. They're, getting involved. And Roman Reigns wins, because of course he does. I would have expected no other outcome, but it was at least a fun match while it was going on. Now, I will say, like, if I was one of those people on the other side of that ring, once it got lifted up, I paid a lot of money to get some front row seats. I'd be extremely angry about that.
Like, you can't see nothing.
Yeah.
I was thinking about that too. It's like, I wonder what those guys are saying. Like, oh, I can't see.
Put it down. I could see, like, all right, put the thing up and then put it down, because I need to see. But the image of them just fighting with it in the background, just up in the air, was incredible. And then after the show ended and it went off air, I think Brock put his cowboy hat on
a ticket about
obstructed views or whatever.
Yeah, obstructed view or something.
I would say I hope they warned them, but there's no way they warned them about that, because that would have been all over Twitter that something was going to happen.
Oh, yeah.
Now, there was a lot of speculation on Twitter ahead of time, because they usually now have like an LED board on the camera side of the ring, and they didn't have that in this one. So a lot of people were speculating that something was going to be done with the ring that would make it so they couldn't do that. But yeah, that was just a cool spot. I was a little disappointed that, like, when Roman won, he didn't climb up there and show off his belts or something. That would have been cool. But Brock, after the show ended, did grab his cowboy hat and sit up in that corner, just looking like a boss. So that was kind of fun. Yeah, overall, SummerSlam was pretty all right show. So that's what's going on.
All right, that's cool.
Yeah.
All right. So now what we got here? We got what we've been watching. Yeah. So you can start. You can go ahead.
All right. So I watched some more of Barry. I think I'm pretty deep into season 2 now, I think.
Okay.
It's kind of funny because we were talking about, what was it, The Boys last week, and like how people were just keep getting away with shit, right? And like Barry is like the epitome of that. Like, there's something where he's like on the verge of getting caught, or basically like everybody knows, it's out there, and just something so crazy happens that it just is able to continue his anonymity, I guess, and allow him to keep going on as he's doing. And it's it's a great show so far. I'm really enjoying it a lot. It's funny where it needs to be, but also has its serious moments, and I think they do a good job of balancing
season
that
3.
stuff.
Season 3 gets funny.
Oh yeah.
Oh man. Yeah, 'cause I just remember something, but I don't want to spoil it, man. But it's yeah, that show was funny, man. I just hope it'll take too fucking long because I just forget what the hell happened.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And then Lightyear came out on Disney Plus now.
Boo,
so
Tim Allen is boo.
No Tim Allen, Dominic. Keep him out of the movie. Nah, Chris Evans does a fine job of doing like stoic voice that like it's not Tim Allen, but it's also not like trying to be Tim Allen, but also it's not distractingly different. Because they do, they very much do the thing of, hey, remember those iconic lines from Toy Story? Well, they're going to be put into this movie. And I was going to say shoehorned, but they're not. They're I'm not going to say subtle because they're pretty obvious, but they use them well in the context of whatever's happening at the time. And I think it's fine. I thought overall the movie was enjoyable. It was again one of those ones that's like, this was unnecessary, but we've been saying that since like Toy Story 3 in relation to this property, and varying degrees of that is definitely true or that's not. It's funny because I actually watched Toy Story 4 the other week and didn't mention it on here because honestly it was like it went in one ear and out the other. Like it was pretty forgettable. It wasn't awful, but it just didn't hit me in any sort of special way.
You talking about Toy Story 4?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and this one, I mean, it's not going to stick with me necessarily, but I think overall the quality of it was very good, and it was an enjoyable movie overall. I think it's not like low tier Pixar movie, but it's it's
Toy Story 4. The ending just stuck with me.
Oh, okay.
That's what stuck with me at Toy Story 4. Nothing else though. Like everything else was good. It was good, but it was just sad because it was sad. It was sad. It's like, oh, this is over. Even though I thought it was fucking over at Toy Story 3, and they had a good ending.
Right.
So, but I guess they want to be like, no, we gotta see Woody and Buzz separate. And say, oh, y'all fucking assholes. You can just let our imaginations wander. You had to be like, nope, they're separated because we gotta bring Bo Peep back. Yeah, I actually didn't care about her no more.
Yeah,
I got over her. And you bring her back.
I think that's the thing is like they bring her back as kind of one of the focal points of that movie, reestablishing kind of the relationship between her and Woody. And it's like, oh yeah, I guess she hasn't been in a movie for a while, has she? But it didn't really like, oh man, Bo Peep, finally we get to find out what happened to her. So yeah, I think overall Lightyear, I'd recommend it. It's worth a watch, I would say. So what have you been watching, Dominic?
All right, so I watched the new movie Prey.
Yes, that's the Predator thing, right?
Yes.
Okay.
So I never heard this movie before.
I just heard it was happening the other day, like a week ago, maybe. I was like, oh, they're doing a new Predator thing?
Well, no, I didn't even know it was Predator. I saw the preview say Prey. Okay. I didn't know what it was. Uh-huh. And then until I saw I was never going to watch this movie until someone on Twitter said, Prey it's a pretty good movie. I definitely like it when it was killing all those white people or it's like colonizers. So I was like, oh, let me go watch this. I still didn't know what it was.
That's amazing.
I was thinking, oh, this looked like this. I said, guess this woman kills a bunch of white people. So okay, let's go watch it because that's the woman's on the front. The what they call her, Comanche. Okay. I think she's Comanche. She yeah, but then when I was like Prey, I said, oh, let me look up and say who else is in this movie. It's just a Predator. I was like, holy shit, it's a Predator movie. So I'm here sitting watching. It's a Predator movie. What the hell?
So you didn't get to the point in the movie where all of a sudden it just shows up and you're like, oh shit.
I actually read it before. It's actually pretty good. It was a pretty good movie. I enjoyed it. You could definitely see the budget though, like in some of the computer animated parts.
Because this is a Hulu exclusive thing, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know if it came in theaters too though.
Gotcha.
I'm not sure. I know it came. I saw it on Hulu. But yeah, it takes place. It's like a prequel. This is a prequel to Predator, like because it takes place back in 17 something before America was America.
Oh, okay.
And thing is, they're speaking English. So I was kind of joking, like, it's funny how these people speak English and they don't even know Englishmen. Or they ain't really been talking to them.
Do you want subs, not dubs, Dominic? Is that what
That's
you're
what I
telling
was saying. See, I was thinking, like, well, this is how I want it.
Yeah.
Like, you can go to the beginning and say, we are translating this so you can understand it. Yeah, I say, I'm okay with that. That ain't going to take me out of the movie. I'll say, yep, thank you. They are, like, and she's the main character. She wants to be a hunter, not a gatherer, Daniel. She's already doing the feminist stuff all early. You know, and they're like, no to that. Women can't be hunters and stuff like that. But
and then as it turns out, the Predator was a lady the entire time.
Yeah. You know what? I wish they would have did that. But anyway, so like, cause she's trying to learn how to hunt. Like, she always messes up, but she's trying to learn, and she does. But she can track. She tracks very well.
Okay.
Just getting to the part of the killing that is, she doesn't get. Then but as things goes on, that's when the Predator comes. She saw something in the sky, but she didn't know what it was, and it was kind of like slightly invisible, but visible, you know, because how the Predator are. And then you saw how it dropped something off. She didn't see that part, but you saw it. And the Predator, like, he's, you know, that's what we learn from other movies, or I don't know, lore, or maybe the book. But I remember that the Predator is like, this is supposed to be some type of traditional, like, honor thing, sport for them. They hunt other predators. So, you know, that's just what they do. So, like, you saw him kill a snake, and you saw him kill a wolf. He fought a wolf or something like that. And, like, I think that's when she first saw him. Yeah, when he killed the wolf. Yeah. Because at first, because then you saw buffalo. You saw a whole bunch of dead buffalo. You know what? I'm ruining the movie. Okay, this movie is it's pretty good. It's pretty good. It takes place in. I like it. It's funny, yeah, because he's using all his technology and stuff, but also still using type of old stuff too. So he's not totally invincible. They learn, like, hey, he can bleed, he can die. They say that line. They say that line, Daniel. I was
Perfect.
Like, yeah. So, but yeah, I think movie. It's a nice, fun. I mean, I don't know about fun, but yeah, I can have fun. Yeah. Seeing those people get killed was kind of funny. It's just but yeah, it's a bloody movie. It's bloody, but yeah, it was a very surprise to me because I did not know anything about this. I did not know it was a Predator movie. So just seeing it pop up and seeing Predator is like, oh, okay, this is all right. Now, if I would have saw this in the movie theater, I think I would have still liked it. Okay. I would have said though, like, man, these some of these graphics need some CGI to use. It's not that great, but they probably would have used better CGI if it was.
Yeah.
Yeah, I liked it when he was able to use real animals, but thank you, PETA. Damn it.
Or you could just slaughter a whole bunch of real buffalo.
You could have had a real bear in there or something where you could have, but no, we got this fucking monstrosity looking thing, what the hell it is. But better I had him probably a bear and a man in a bear costume or something.
Get that one from that Leonardo DiCaprio movie.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, get that one. But that was good. But they put a lot in that.
Yeah. Well, they should have just reused it. Like, he's probably just sitting in a closet somewhere. Bring that guy back.
All right. So, so that's it from what I've been watching. There's nothing else really. I'm not going to really say anything else until I finish the series of, like, Better Call Saul. Until the series is over, I'll talk more about it. And I just closed the tab. Let me reopen this tab up. Okay. And we're going to do what we've been playing. So, have you been playing anything?
Just a little bit of Klonoa. That's about it.
You went back to playing that. Oh, yeah, you did buy the game, so I guess, yeah.
I was like, I'll play something on the Switch yesterday. My internet was off, so I was like, let me pick this up for a little bit. But that's been about it. It's getting a little more difficult. They're introducing more enemies, but it's still kind of just that same game that we've talked about that I'm like fine with, but I'm not like over the moon about. So
yeah. All right, I get you. All right, so here's what I've been playing. So I tried out Total War Warhammer 3 because it's on Game Pass. I was like, you know what? I like the first Total War. I think I tried it. Mm-hmm. I forget. I forget that I tried the first one or it was the remaster because they remastered the first one. I don't remember. But it was Total War Rome that I had played, and I did like it. So I was like, yeah, play some Total War Warhammer 3. And it did load up. And then Xbox now has it so it can tell you if your PC can play this game. It can run well. It's not a good... Don't go by that.
It's not a good indicator. No, that sucks.
Because they didn't lie. It can play. But I wish they didn't say it could... I wish they would say like it will play, but it will suck. So I played it. Now, I don't know. Maybe if I put on my SSD, but I don't think I had no space. I gotta look how big this game is. But yeah, because I only had enough space to put like one game, and then it's only 104 gigs. So I tried it, and like, of course, everything's on low. So I was like, okay, it's not gonna look as great. But those load times just to get to the freaking war, God, it took just forever. It was a good 5 minutes. I was like, okay, I can't play this game. I say, damn it. Why can't you be...
That's a lot.
Why couldn't you be on streaming? Why can't you be streaming this game? So I was like, man, it sucks. So, but I just played a little bit. And yeah, it was fun what I played. But yeah, just the load times is really what killed it. Like I probably would have kept playing it, even with the sucky graphics, just because I like the gameplay. But it was all right. But I read on forums how they don't optimize it that great either. A lot of people were saying that too. Same as me, as I say, load times were long on even older ones. But then some people said, hey, you use the SSD or something like that, and it's a whole lot better. So okay. But anyway, so I played a tad bit of that. Also played some Guardians of the Galaxy because I wanted to say, hey, I'm gonna get back in this game. But my stream, I'm downstairs now, so I'm a little farther away from my my router, and it's my modem anyway. It's not, the stream is not that great. Ooh. So it's okay for like if I want to play baseball or something, I'm still okay with it a bit. But if I'm gonna play like a regular game, it gets a little too much in the way of it. Because even baseball, it messes up. It doesn't mess up as much as I would think it would because timing will need to be good.
Right.
But it like I still play. Yeah, it's not like it's lagging. It's not lag. Well, Guardians was lagging, and it seemed like in baseball it was more lag. It was just that the graphics, there's a lot of pixelation. Correct. That's what it really was. And so it looked ugly. And it did in Guardians too. And I was like, I don't want to play it. I don't want to play it like this. I did try to play it on PC. It did play better than I played before. I know when I played it the first time on PC. So I don't know. Maybe I'll continue playing it on PC a bit, even though it doesn't run as well as it does even on streaming. Like if I was streaming well, if I was upstairs, or I might have to wait till the fall where I put myself back upstairs again and play it then.
Yeah.
All right. So I also played some Fire Emblem Warriors. Still playing through that. Not really much there to talk about. I also went to play some of the Nintendo virtual console stuff. Well, not virtual console, but you know what I mean.
Switch Online expansion pack.
And so I played some Star Fox. I recorded some of that. I was playing that. I do like that now. Since they got those save states, you can actually save.
So it's 64, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Problem with 64, though, they don't have that feature. What feature they don't have? They don't have it where you can rewind.
Oh.
They don't have the rewind feature like they do on the Super Nintendo and the Nintendo. And I don't know about the Genesis. I think Genesis does have rewind. Yeah, I think Genesis does have it. But the N64 one didn't because I was looking for it. I was like, okay, can I just rewind back a little bit? I said, oh man. I said, damn it. I said, y'all were almost there. It's like, why? So now I'm just save scumming. It's like I'm just like, okay, gotta save here because I think I might just die. Yeah. What else here? So I also played some Yoshi's Story a little bit.
How you liking that?
And, it's all right. It's all right, but it's a
best game on the 64.
Yeah, okay.
I don't even believe it.
Yeah. But
it's an all right game, though.
Yeah, it's all right. What I played, it's cute, but not definitely my cup of tea. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I do like it because I did like the other stuff, like Yarn, and I like the other one was just like Yarn, but it's called something else. What is it? It was Yoshi's Yarn, and then it was Yoshi's
Woolly
Play-Doh.
World.
What is it called? What?
Woolly World.
Woolly. No, it was not Yoshi's Yarn. It was Yoshi's Woolly World.
And then Kirby's Epic Yarn.
That was first, and then they had another Yoshi one that came out for one came out for the Switch, one came out for the
Crafted World was the Switch one. Crafted World was the one.
Okay,
for the
that
Switch.
one. Yeah. Okay, that one was just it wasn't wool, it was paper mache, I guess, or something like that. I don't know. They stole it from Mario, or Mario stole it from it. It was just so similar.
God, I forgot about that game. At some point in time, I wanted to play it, and I still, looking back at it, wouldn't mind playing it, but it's definitely not anywhere near the top of my list of things.
It's just that all those games are full price. That's
that's part of it. Absolutely.
That's the thing, man. It's like, especially after a while, like I was like, oh yeah, I did want to play that, and I look, it's like I gotta pay $60.
I mean, that's the thing, right? Even if I didn't play it, if this game was $20, I would have bought it at some point.
Oh fuck yeah!
Thinking I was going to play it.
Just think about I would have bought this. Yeah, I would have bought a lot of games for
Nintendo's really leaving money on the table by charging full price all the time. That's what I'm telling them. Market research based on my personal experience.
I would have had a whole lot. I would have had a whole lot more Switch games, like the big Switch games, anyway.
Yeah,
like the very first party games. Shucks, I would have had a whole lot more. I would have been had Bayonetta. Man, I've been waiting for Bayonetta to come out of prices. God damn, for years. And then you have I would have had the Mansion. I don't know if I liked it or not, but I would have had it. Luigi's Mansion. It's crazy. All right. I also played some more Multiversus. I didn't unlock anybody else yet.
Okay.
Playing through that. Superman's still the best guy. Just flat up.
Have they rotated characters at all?
No. And I heard, but I already heard. I think, do you have it in the news about?
No, I didn't have it in the news, but yeah, Rick and Morty and season 1 got delayed.
Yeah, whatever it is, because I guess this is not really considered a season, right? It's considered something else, maybe.
Yeah,
because it's a beta.
It's still kind of in beta.
Yeah, because I'm just thinking they're just gonna go right through, right?
Absolutely. It's not, I can't imagine them pulling it down at any point now.
Yeah, exactly.
Just hurt your fan base by doing that.
But I did play LeBron a couple of times, and I did beat him. I beat him every time. I never lost to LeBron, so I'm just like, yes. And I'm just thinking, that's what I'm thinking of. Who are these kids picking this character, wasting their fucking money on this goddamn character? So what's wrong with them? I just be saying that you didn't king of nothing. Just tossing him up with Superman. Just toss him up there, or Jake, Jake the dog, just eating him and then spin him out
over the edge.
Yeah. And then I also play some Smash. 'Cause I was like, you know what? Yeah, since I haven't played Smash in a while, I'm gonna play that. Yeah, it feels so. Smash is too. You know what? I easily can fall off stage in Smash, because it's just, I don't know. It's the feel of the game. It's to a point where I'm always scared on the edge, and I can easily just fall off.
Right.
And I don't know, what is it? It's not heavy. Is it too loose? I don't know to explain it.
Interesting.
It's like
has too much like physics to it, maybe. So if you're like running, you just keep moving as you're too close to the edge.
I'm just always fucking scared. And I was like, oh man, I'm just gonna slide off, or I'm just gonna, or like I'm too scared to go. Like when enemies out there and you're supposed to go like try to hit them to keep them out.
Yeah,
I'm too scared to, because I'm like, oh man, I'm going to hit a button. I'm just going to fall the fuck down and just kill myself.
Definitely done that.
I do that most of the time.
Yeah.
But I was like, this Multiversus definitely feels different. Mm-hmm. It's definitely different in Smash. I actually like that feel of the game more than Smash. All right, so yeah, I think that's it. So I guess we'll take a quick break. When we get back, we'll get to the flashback segment.
All right.
And we're back. And now we're in the flashback segment. So we are going back 10 years ago. We got a new month here, people. We're in August in 2012. And we got Deadlight. Came out for the Xbox. And it is a video game. And I have to see, it's a survival horror video game that was on the, I believe this was like an Xbox Live Arcade game. I believe it came on PlayStation.
Yeah.
Eventually. Did it? Yeah, it came on. Well, actually, it was on 360. It ain't going to PlayStation until PlayStation 4.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And then Xbox One, and then, everything. Then, yeah, that was it. In Windows, of course. So, it's a side-scrolling cinematic platforming survivor game. And the plot was you're in Seattle in 1986. That's the year you were born, Daniel. And when's your birthday, Daniel?
I'm not doxing myself, Dominic.
Oh, okay. it's not the 4th of July. But
it's the 4th of July. I love America.
Yeah, but that's when this happened. This happened July 4th, 1986. 145 days since patient zero.
Damn, they don't love America.
Society has nearly decimated by the outbreak of the virus that reanimates the dead. And I guess you just start killing them, I guess. I don't know.
You gotta re-kill them, Dominic.
I mean, the scores, they weren't great for 360. I mean, they were all right. They were 68 out of 100 on Metacritic.
That sounds, yeah.
PC got a 78 out of 100 there, man. I guess maybe because the graphics is so much better up there or something. I don't know.
Maybe.
It's got a 70 out of 100 on a PS4 and a 69 out of 100 on Xbox One. So, yeah, the best scores I see is IGN and the official Xbox magazine, 8.5. Oh, and OneUp.com gave it an A-. OneUp.com. I used to go to that site quite a bit back in the day. And I guess that's what killed it, because they gave this game too high a score, and people said,
yes.
We do not trust you. We think you've been bought.
All credibility out the window. Something, journalism.
Yeah.
Ethics in journalism. Gamergate killed them.
So what we got here? We got Ghostbusters Paranormal Blast. And the only reason I'm saying this game because I like Ghostbusters, and because it's on the iOS, so I don't give a shit. But it's a Ghostbusters game. If you're an iOS person who likes playing phone games, I guess go get it.
It's an ARG game.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Because I didn't remember ever hearing about this thing. I guess you go out into the world and catch ghosts. And
there was no. When did the movie come out?
Oh, when did that movie come out? 2012? Maybe? I don't know why I'm saying that. No, like 2016?
The Ghostbusters game didn't. Wait a minute. When did the Ghostbusters game come out?
Yeah, 2016 was that.
Yeah, I think it was too early. It's let's see. So yeah, it was nothing really with it. Because the game came out 2009. Okay, so the console game. But yeah, it was just coming out. I guess just for the hell of it.
I just imagine, like, in this trailer, being on the subway, like, waving my phone around all crazy while I'm trying to catch a ghost. I feel like people would just look at me like I'm a crazy person.
No, it all depends what subway.
Yes, I guess.
If it's New York, they probably it's like, oh.
They wouldn't even look at you. They're like, avoid contact, eye contact. I know how this goes. Please don't assault me.
All right, we got Babel Rising came out. Yes, the Tower of Babel, where God was angry at us for trying to go see him. Even though, yeah, I mean, I guess he's up in the sky somewhere.
It's like when you're a divorced parent and you don't want the kids
that
showing
proves
up.
it that he is up there somewhere, Daniel, because we were getting too close.
I was gonna say he knew.
All right, but anyway, what is this game? Let me see what the scores are first before I even care about talking about it. Nope, that's not even worth talking about. But it came on everything. Even come down on the Windows Phone 8, man.
Oh, wow. Prestigious.
Go. I remember, oh my God, that dude Tyrone. I know. He was getting, it's like, I'm getting all Windows products. He got the Windows Phone, man. He was like, yeah, I gotta get me a new. I said, I gotta give me. I think when they had a new version of it, I was like, "Goodness gracious, yo!" I was like, "Why?" I said, "Yeah." I said, "Because people got Apple, people are gonna be Windows." I said, "Just be Android, where you can just get everything."
See how this works out for you.
All right, Persona 5 Arena came out. Like they said, we're not going to get the real game, Xbox, but you will get the fighting game.
Yes.
So I could be
familiarize yourself with these characters elsewhere, like on a wiki.
Exactly. It's like I don't even get the like nostalgia, not really nostalgia, but something like, hey, yeah, I know these guys. I'm just playing these guys. Like, who the fuck are they? I don't ever get that shit. It's like you want to put the fucking fighting game here, but you can't. We can't play the fucking RPG. Jackasses until 10 years later, because it's like 10 years from now we can play it. But well, actually, probably 11 years. I think
I was gonna say
this year.
maybe.
Yeah, I think it's next year. So like 11 years later, we can Xbox. We can finally play it. But yeah, this is the fighting game by Arc Systems game. It looks pretty good. A lot of games do when they do anime.
Yes.
And it got, I think people liked it, yeah, because it got good scores. 86 out of 100 on PS3. Now, why does Xbox got 83, Daniel? Why they got 3 points lower?
Because they're not home of anime, Dominic.
Because of GameSpot, that's why. Look, they actually gave it a 1 point less. I wonder why.
Load
Was it
times
like
are
two
longer?
different reviewers?
Maybe.
Yes. They actually did a real review. Said they got somebody who didn't know what the hell Persona was, and they played it. It's like,
they were
hey,
like,
this
"You're
is
an
all right
Xbox
game,
player. You've never heard of this property before, ever, right? What do you think of this game? Bad. It's bad.
Well, no, you say it's bad. You say it's all right. Just I don't see the infatuation with these characters.
Not as good as whatever the PlayStation guy said.
Yeah. All right. So what else we got here? Because I left the tab again. All right, so where we at? All right, Sound Shapes. Yeah, you can talk about this game.
Yeah, Sound Shapes was really cool. It was like simplistic art, but it I forget who the artists were that were in it, but there was some music created.
Da Vinci's.
Yeah. But there was like some music. I don't think it was created specifically for the game. But it was utilized in there, and basically the way you would interact with the environment, it was like a platformer almost. Well, I guess mostly it was a platformer. You're moving your shape around the screen, and it would make sounds that would add to the music or take away if you didn't do a good job. Oh yeah, it had Dead Mouse in there and Beck. Those are the two names that I recognize.
Dead Mouse. You know, I want to listen to some Dead Mouse. I don't know if I heard it before.
Mm. I couldn't tell you a single song that Dead Mouse has made, but I think if you played me a Dead Mouse song, I could probably go, yeah, that's Dead Mouse. But if you played me a not Dead Mouse song, I might also think that's Dead Mouse. So I don't know.
Because I always get them confused with the
Skrillex.
Other. Nope. The guys I actually heard. They actually, Daft Punk. Yeah, because they wear the helmet. Because he wears a mask. I don't know his face.
Yeah.
So that's why I mean, not that I don't get the songs confused. I don't but no, I get just the look. It's like, oh yeah, that's okay. That's about Mickey Mouse, crazy looking thing.
How was he getting away with this?
Yeah. And the only time I really see him was video games. Like somebody posted, like, hey, Dead Mouse or something, and that's the only reason I ever saw him. Yeah. All right. So that is it for 2012. So now we're going back 20 years, 2002. Here's the games we got. We got NCAA College Football 2K3, the 2K version of the college football. Came on a PlayStation 2 in the United States, and that other place above us that I don't care about. And I don't who was on the front of this one? Nebraska guy, who I don't know who that is. And yeah, because right now I'm just seeing a whole bunch of Jason Williams because I didn't put in me NCAA football. Because I think did I have the Jason Williams one? No, I might have. I don't know. That looks very familiar. Who's the cover star here? Nebraska Cornhuskers quarterback Eric Crouch. Oh, Eric Crouch. I sort of remember him. I don't know. I don't know if he did anything in the NFL. If he even did go, honestly, he sounds like a bench player. All right, well, that's better than a lot of people.
Yeah.
All right, Klonoa 2 Dream Champ Tournament came out for the Game Boy Advance in Japan. So that was the first release of it on the Game Boy Advance. So you were just all jelly. I mean, I don't know why you were jelly. You had a Game Boy Advance.
I was going to say, well, Game Boy Advance, I definitely played a Klonoa game on the Game Boy Advance, and I think maybe that's where some of my positive feelings about Klonoa came from.
Is this a totally different game?
I'm actually watching some of the Empire of Dreams because that's the game that I'm playing now, I think. And it definitely looks different. I mean, it's 2D graphics instead of the 3D stuff, which I think even on the PlayStation it was. I don't know. Maybe it just felt a little like tighter or something in that way. I don't know. I'll have to compare them and see. But I don't know if I ever played 2.
Wait a minute. Oh, yeah. Gunmetal came out for the Xbox. All right. This is definitely a different cover. Yeah, this cover is totally different than the one that was on the Moby Dick site.
Gunmetal from mech to jet and back. That's
a story. Here's a story. The game is based around a war, sometime in the future, of course, on a planet called Helios. I heard that planet before, and some other.
That's generic sci-fi planet name.
Where humans have settled. Enemy spacecraft have followed them from Earth and are attempting to exterminate the colony. Project Gunmetal is a massive operation which oversaw the creation of a supremely powerful war machine, other known as Master Chief, in its wiry form and walking humanoid mech. Oh, this is Master Chief that actually is just a mech, though, which I thought he was. It got like 63 out of 100 on Metacritic. Game Informer gave it a 6 out of 10. Maybe that's why I didn't really pay attention. All right, what else we have here? Oh, here's some news. We got Rockstar Games Toronto. Was formed 20 years ago when Take-Two Interactive acquires Barking Dog Studios in Vancouver. Rockstar Canada is renamed to Rockstar Toronto to avoid confusion with the 2 Canadian Rockstar Studios.
I'm still confused.
Because they had a lot of people just calling. It was like, hey, I got some music I want you to listen to. All right. Alien Hominid came out. This is probably the first. I meant to make sure this is true. Because we had some discrepancies before about these release dates. And that says November 21st, 2004. But that could be a console release.
I was going to say that's probably like the Xbox one. 'Cause I've got Alien Hominid on Newgrounds August 7th, 2002.
Okay, so yes. Yep. Well, it's close enough. We were actually a little ahead of the schedule, but we're around there. Somebody probably stole it and played it down. So let's just say that. They got it early. They got early access to it. So, Alien Hominid is releasing this month. It says coming to its anniversary. I played this game a few times on Xbox.
Yes.
After I played Castle Crashers, because I was like, oh, well, this is the guy, Castle Crashers, the guy who did this game. I've seen this game. So let me go play it. And then I kept dying. And I said, nope, it's not like Castle Crashers, because when Castle Crashers I die, it doesn't just end. It's like, it was hard as shit for me when I played it. I couldn't get nowhere in that game. But I don't know. Maybe I can play it down. I don't know. I have no idea. Did that game get re-released? I don't got it released a billion times, but have like recently, like on these consoles?
Yeah, I don't think there's been a newer release. But as I am doing right now, you can play it on Newgrounds.
It's probably a backwards compatible game on Xbox, maybe.
Yeah, I would hope so.
Oh, did it have Cash? I'm sorry. I don't know. I can't stop eating this Emblem. Let me put them away somewhere.
Yeah,
but they had like Castle Crashers, the remastered, and you can pay the other one backwards compatible. So they had both.
Yeah, nice.
But you would think like they'll be like, no backwards compatible. You can just have to get the remastered one. All right. So where are we at here? We are at here's the game. Bikini Karate Babes came out for the Windows. And apparently it came on PlayStation 2. This game, it looks like how the early Mortal Kombat looked like.
Yep.
That looked like real people.
Rasterized people, yeah.
Yeah.
Except better.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Well, it's definitely graphically better.
No, because they looked captured better, honestly.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know if the gameplay is better. But there, as you can say, there are women in bikinis, and they do some extraordinary stuff like that. I know one woman's move. She has this like stars and stripe bikini, and when she bends over, she has like some stars and stripes just come out her ass and shoots at the woman.
Yeah.
I mean, it's all these sexy stuff. Like, I don't know if this was a taunt or what. The one lady was just pushing her boobs together.
And there's a lot of like ripping off tops, taking off tops.
Yeah, and
a lot of sexiness there.
Some crab walking, yes.
Crab walking.
Yeah. Hold up. Here we go. Let me see if they did anybody review this game. Only review I got is IGN officially. They get a 1.5 out of 10.
Oh, come on.
Yeah.
I just didn't appreciate it.
It was a woman probably reviewed this, Daniel.
Hey.
It's like they had women in game industry back in 2002.
Good point.
But yeah, but hey, it sold enough or whatever. I don't know. They got a sequel. They have Bikini Karate Babes 2, which came out in 2011. Darn, almost 10 years later. Dude, I missed this game for last year, Daniel.
Oh, man.
The Warriors of Elysium.
We didn't know, Dominic. We didn't know.
All right. So here's another big news for 20 years ago. Incognito Entertainment, the studio, one of Sony studios, was acquired on that date. And they are known for Twisted Metal Black.
Ooh.
Another Twisted Metal, the little kid one. Well, it looks a little cute, I should say. That was on PlayStation. I forgot what it was called. And they also did that World Monsters game that came on PlayStation. They did some other games too, but then they went away. I think their last year was, what I say it was, Daniel?
Oh, what was it?
Gee, I forget. But it was after Warhawk. They did Warhawk, I know that.
Yeah.
But I don't know if they were like just dismantled or they were just,
2009 merged. They ceased operation.
They probably just merged. Maybe. I mean, I would like to think so. I mean, that's how this company got formed first place, because they were former Jetmoto people, and I forgot the other game it was.
Jetmoto.
I know, man. That game should have been. They should have had like releases on the. I'm surprised the PlayStation 2 didn't have one.
Yeah,
that's fucking crazy. All right, so now we're going back 30 years ago. 30 years ago, Daniel, we got the Super Buster Brothers. Yeah, then they bring this back, man. This is where you play as some freaking 90s kids. You shoot shit, I guess. I gotta look at a video of this thing. Yeah, you shoot. You got this gun to pop bubbles that bounce around the screen. There's two different modes: panic mode and arcade mode. It's similar to Asteroids or something. Yeah. The only thing I see is game rankings. They said 70. They got 70.5%. I mean, that's actually pretty good. I mean, that's actually a high score than I think you probably would have got. But yeah, looking at it, I was
very much expecting a platformer with guns.
Me too.
Instead, I got this weird, like almost puzzle style game.
Yeah. It's definitely not no Super Mario Brothers. I can tell you that.
No.
It's not even like Donkey Kong. But they try to get away with the name, because I bet you did. That's how they got some of their sales.
Oh yeah,
absolutely. They got a lot of their sales because people thought Super Mario Brothers. Those kids wouldn't put it in, and they cried. They cried because they couldn't get there. It wasn't an Italian plumber, but some American.
Where's Luigi kid. At? That's what they would say.
All right, so where are we at here? We got Dragon Ball Z 3. There is a subtitle to it, but I'm not going to pronounce it. It's came out for the Nintendo in 1992, and this is it plays like an RPG, like almost like a Final Fantasy-ish. I mean, you pick fight or whatever, just like in Pokemon or some shit, and they fight. It's not like a 2D action game, which you would think it would be, but whatever. I don't know how the Japanese people liked it because I don't think it came over. Yeah, we didn't even know about Dragon Ball Z probably then. So they got that. Also, 30 years ago, Splatterhouse 2 came out. That's where you play as the fake Jason, kill monsters and shit. Which I've never played it, but it's like it's one of those Genesis staples.
Yeah.
I just got lost in the sauce with me. I don't know how part 2 did, but whatever. It's a classic. What else we have here? We also got some big news. HAL Corporation, the guys who did Kirby, they were first created in 1992.
Cool.
And what did they do then? Well, now they call it HAL Laboratory.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. Well, let's look at the HAL Laboratories beginning. So, blah, 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 blah. Let's see their early games. Well, they did some games in the 80s. I'm trying to see what game they probably did first in 1992. Daydreamin' Davy.
Oh, that's my favorite game.
Did you see this?
No, I've never seen that game before.
Look, it almost looks like almost a Simpsons, like a messed up Simpsons character or something. Like he's yellow.
Oh, weird.
Yeah, it wasn't like good reviews. Oh, they did Kirby Adventure. Okay, Kirby Adventure.
It's got the Nintendo seal of quality, Dominic. It's got to be good.
1993. So yeah, so I guess after they were acquired, that's when they did Kirby, and he became a huge hit. All right, so that is it for as far as the games of the Flashback Segment. All right, so now we're going to be doing the covers for this week. This month for the Flashback Segment. So it's a new month. So we always do, covers of magazines from 10 years ago, 20 years ago, or sometimes 30 years ago. So we're going to start with Game Informer, which had 6 covers in 2012, starting with Resident Evil 6, which, this is before we knew it was not a good game. But, I would say that it was interesting because for what I played, I did like it when it was you with the partner and you're playing through the game together. And then you get to this point in the story where 2 other players are playing as other characters. And if there's people waiting, I guess, in the lobby or something, I don't know how it worked. But then y'all end up playing together. Y'all be at different points of the stage fighting this big boss. And I thought that was pretty cool. I was like, oh, that's neat. I mean, it was just so weird how the gameplay was. I think like each it was like 3 different stories and 2 characters each, and it felt like the Chris Redfield one was more action than the Leon one to me. And there was the one with the woman from Zero and
it's like Claire, I think.
I think she was with what she said?
I think that's Claire, right?
No,
Claire's not the one from
Redfield.
Right.
There's Zero.
Wasn't Claire in Zero?
Nah, it was the young star girl.
How do I type in RE0 and I don't get Resident Evil? I get some anime stuff, Dominic. How dare them?
What is that? What's RE0?
I don't know. Some anime. RE0 starting life in another world.
Oh, okay. But yeah, she was with the guy from prison.
Yeah.
I think he was. I don't know if he was in. He may have in that one. I don't know if it was her partner in that one. I don't think so. I think
Rebecca Chambers. That's what it was. Okay.
But yeah, it was like the concept was like, oh, it's nice, but it just, I guess the execution just wasn't there.
Yeah.
Always still wanted to go back because it was just so silly that it was fun just to go play through it.
Yeah, and they were coming off 2 really solid ones, so we expected it to, be all right. I know people were kind of down on 5, but
I'm about to say there were people who were down on 5, even though I liked it.
Yeah,
the people were down because the survival, it was getting away from the survival horror, and I guess it really just went total
action
in the 6th one. So people were just angry. But now they're back to the horror. But they're back to more horror than even the original ones now. But I don't know how good the story is in these. To be honest with you, the stories weren't that great in the last ones either. But I haven't played through. Well, I haven't played through any of them. But I watched 7, 8. I don't No, I mean I know people were down on it a bit, but
I think it was mostly pretty positive though. Still,
yeah, but yeah, I'm just saying they weren't as high as 7.
Yeah,
like it was the people that didn't like it as much as 7 did. But yeah, it's like Resident Evil did. Like they found it funny. They got back to being like the top dog around the survival horror. Well, mainly because I don't know anybody else doing anything. I mean, now Dead Space guys are coming back and doing things, and so yeah. And since we got no what's the game called for Konami? That didn't come out. The one that Hideo Kojima was doing.
What do you mean, Metal Gear Solid?
The horror game.
Oh, PT. I'm sorry. Yeah, the Silent Hills.
Yeah, Silent Hill. Yeah. God damn, Dan, you help me out here. Shit.
Sorry, my brain's all over the place.
All right. So where are we at here? The other cover they had was Injustice, which was the Gods Among Us. This was the fighting game, which I really liked. I never liked the designs though. I did not like Batman's helmet. I always hated it, and even when they had like, you'll see both of them. The other helmet was horrible too, from the other world. So I was like, God damn, why did you Batman's helmet this way, and why they thought it was a good design? but anyway, other than that though, I like that game. That was really good. I mean, all the freaking NetherRealm fighting games are great. They're my favorite ones. Then you have what is this?
Dead Space.
Oh, Dead Space 3, which people did not like, even though we liked it.
Yeah,
it was all right. Yeah, they like playing co-op through it. But yeah, this was like the people say this is the downfall of Dead Space. So now we're going to see if it could come back, or well, that other one, which would be better?
Yeah,
the remake
something
or
Callisto
the new
Protocol.
game? Yeah. And then now they have Ascension, which is the God of War game, and I don't think this wasn't really high. I mean, it wasn't horrible, but nobody was really talking about this. And I played it. It was just too much the same. And it was just, I just felt like I'd done this before. It's just done differently.
They definitely overstayed their welcome with that one a little bit. And this is where they added multiplayer too, which no one was asking for.
No.
So it was weird.
Yeah. What was the other cover here? And Blacklist.
Yeah, Splinter Cell.
Splinter Cell. Man, we haven't seen him in a while.
No.
Actually, have we seen him in the last generation?
No.
Except for in Wildlands.
Yeah, I forgot he was in that. Yeah. And then they had that phone game for a while that I think there was like a Sam Fisher skin in or something. But yeah, that's been about it.
But okay, so what was the one before Blacklist, or was it after
Conviction?
Yeah, was that Conviction was before Blacklist, right?
I think so. I say Blacklist is the last one.
They didn't do an HD collection, did they?
They did an HD collection for like the PS3.
Oh, okay.
But nothing after that. Yeah.
They didn't do like a remake or not. Yeah.
All these
that would definitely be like remake material.
Yeah, Blacklist was the last one. There was a VR game that we just talked about how that was canceled. Yeah, before that was Conviction, Double Agent, Chaos Theory, Pandora Tomorrow in the original. Yeah, goddamn, Dominic, it's been that long since we saw our man Sam Fisher.
And this is the last one, right?
Yep.
This is the last cover they had. They had Castlevania Lords of Shadow.
Yeah, the Mirrors of Fate one. That was the DS one that eventually came out on other things. I like that game.
Yeah, I never played that one.
Because that's where they took the Lords of Shadow, which was like the 3D God of War like one, which you liked the first one, right?
Yeah.
Thought that was pretty good. And then they moved it back into like the 2D Metroidvania space. It was all right. I think it was a little more linear, but still overall, I thought it was a good time. Yeah.
Okay. So this was all like the E3. Yeah. Because it just came off E3. All the Hot 50, like top 50 E3 games they saw there. Back with E3, man, was still big. But hey, it's coming back. It could be big again.
Could be big again, Daniel. I mean, they got they got the right people to do it, I think. So with those Reed Pop guys, I think they'll do something. I don't know if they're gonna turn it back into the industry thing that it was, or turn it more like PAX. But you feel like if the guys who are doing PAX are doing it, like they've already got 2 PAXs. Because I think they're not doing South anymore. Maybe they have 3 PAXs or 4 if you count like Australia or whatever. So like they've got places where people can go. But they've got places where like fans can go. So if you're trying to convince the industry they need to come back and do like their big trade shows, you've really got to bring in those people that are there to see their products because they want to buy it, right? Like there's got to be a reason why you need people physically in that space instead of me just hitting play on a video that everybody's going to watch on YouTube and be content with, right? Like we as people who never went to E3 and not people who were like there for retail is just basically like enthusiasts. We're perfectly fine with just seeing the stuff, you know? And so they need a reason to make people gather again. Industry professionals. Yeah,
the pandemic's over, Daniel. All we do is got to worry about the monkeypox, though.
Well, yeah.
All right. So now we got Edge magazine 10 years ago, and we got Master Chief on the front here for Halo 4. So this is like the first big sequel that wasn't done by Bungie.
Mm-hmm.
And some people were a little scared, apprehensive. I know I was. I was a little scared. I was like, oh no, can this be done? And to me, it was an all right game. And it looked great. It played great. And I mean, I really enjoyed it. Now, there are some really big Halo fans who did not like it. Now, I don't know if they didn't like it because of the gameplay, but I think the lore they didn't really care for, even though I always said the lore wasn't that great anyway. And it wasn't. I mean, the 4 story was not great, but playing the game itself, I really did like it. Like, I enjoyed playing it.
Is 4 where they introduced, like, looking down the sights, or was that later? Or was that just specific guns still?
That was 5.
Oh,
5
okay.
they did that. Yeah, that's when they first said, they did the looking down the sights. 4... The only complaint, one of the complaints I have with 4 is that some of the guns from the what are they called?
Runners or something. Those orange guys.
Yeah, whatever. Yeah, they look like they're from Metroid or something.
Yeah, exactly.
They're some of their guns weren't
That's
that great. I didn't really care for.
Mm-hmm.
But other than that, it was like, hey, this is cool. I mean, it felt like a Halo game to me. Yeah. And graphically at the time, like I said, it was like the best looking Halo game. It's like one of the top looking games at the time on the Xbox.
Yeah, definitely look good.
All right, and what else they got here? They got Peter Montague, the inside story of his new venture into psychology.
More
with
lies.
22 cans. So what is he? Did he do anything with this?
22 Cans was the studio where he did the phone game where you had to like keep touching the thing until you got to the center, and then once you get to the center, whoever the last person was to touch the thing to reveal it got to like work on their next game, and then that whole thing went sideways, and that's kind of the last we heard from Peter Molyneux, it feels like.
So is Milo just gone?
Milo's dead, Dominic. He's dead. Fell into the water behind him and just he went away.
God, I remember. I gotta look at a video of that. Them showing that off for the Kinect. You interacted with the little boy.
God, Dominic, we've been talking about the Kinect. It's got to be like the 10 year anniversary of Milo or something.
The Kinect. I think we already did the 10-year anniversary of Kinect. I thought we already talked. Yeah,
like that game. That demo was like afterwards, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Or maybe not. No, Project Milo was in 2009.
That's the same year?
So.
Oh, yeah. So it was there still before the Kinect was like officially on.
Yeah.
The shop. Yeah, there. Man, I was really waiting to do that, man, to interact with a little boy and do things with.
It's like Seaman, but, a little boy.
All right. What we got here? Hike, Watch Dogs, Beyond, Resident Evil 6, Tomb Raider, Pikmin 3, Far Cry 3. All these sequels. All right. So that is it for 2012. So now we're going back to 2002, 20 years ago, we're looking at Game Informer. They're getting hot, man. They got here sex lies in video games.
This was a horny month for magazines, Dominic.
Yes. I had this magazine. I remember getting this when I went to GameStop. I'm trying to think, what game did I buy at GameStop when I got this? I don't remember.
Dave Mirra's BMX Triple X?
No, it wasn't that game. But yeah, I had this cover, and I was always afraid to like be reading it on a bus because I was like, "Oh man, it looks like I'm probably reading like a porn magazine or Maxim or something."
Yeah,
and I look like a horny little teenager, even though I was.
Maxim was pure, purely fine, Dominic.
Yeah, well, it
was socially acceptable porn at the time.
Yeah, but this didn't feel weird looking at it on a bus though.
Yeah.
I was subconscious, Daniel, because I was a teenager. I was going to puberty.
Exactly. Everybody was.
Yeah. All right. So
that guy just straight up masturbating in the back of the
bus. They got here 2 titles are set to change the games, to set the video games forever. But politics, big money, and your mother can make it impossible.
Oh, no, not my mom.
Yeah. Just find out why on page 30. What's her name? Mika? Her name is Mika. Is she a real person?
I don't know. You have to do some research, Dominic.
I'm mad they actually I have her name down here so you just know who she is or whatever. Maybe she is a real BMX. Is she a real BMX rider?
I don't know. I'm too afraid to look at this point, Dominic.
All right. So, fall football pre-trend. Marshall Faulk. Oh, Marshall Faulk, man. One of the great running backs out there, man. Big fan of his, but then he went on NFL Network and did some sexual harassment stuff, and now now just remembering that. That's why I don't see him, because he was out there like near the beginning when NFL Network was a thing. All right, so what else we have here? We have Ninja, Shinobi, Ninja Gaiden, Tenchu 3. All these games I did not play because I heard they were hard, so I never touched them. Oh, well, I did touch Ninja Gaiden, and then I realized it was hard. And
Ninja Gaiden was definitely hard.
All right. Over 50 games reviewed and previewed. Also, what we got here. Oh, starring Dave Mirra, BMX Triple X. And, the other cover to this was the beach volleyball, Dead or Alive.
Yeah.
Yeah, let me show that up here. And, and they have Hitami in the front.
Yep. In her bikini.
As they were like that in fighting too. I was always trying to like those bikinis. I was playing Dead or Alive. I never played it. I don't think I ever played the beach volleyball games. I don't even think like the new one. Did they even have a demo on the Xbox? I don't think they did.
I don't think so.
So I never played them.
Yeah. What's weird is like I don't know which cover is more embarrassing to like be caught out in public with, because like the BMX Triple X one, she's just got straight up hard nipples in a white tank top. But like Hitomi is just young looking.
Yeah, she really is.
Yeah, I mean, that would be fine if it weren't for the fact that she just has childish features.
I see that now, but when I was younger, she looked like, my age or a little older or something.
Yeah, because she was. Exactly.
All right. So, what we at here? We're going to another magazine here. We're going to PlayStation Magazine, and I guess it's somewhat sexy too. You got a little sexy little Croft, and this guy, I don't know, he seems really into it. Taking this photo. It's to that new Tomb Raider game, Tomb Raider Return to Greatness, which I think some people argue that is not true.
I would agree, because I think this is talking about Angel of Darkness. So yeah,
did you ever play it?
Pretty much the low point. I tried playing it on the PC at one point, and it just, I don't remember if it was a combination of my PC not working very well on it at the time, or the controls being awful, or a little bit of both. But I think it was a little bit of both.
Oh look, this is 100% independent, Daniel. PlayStation 2 magazine.
And got Sony's grubby hands on it, keeping us away from these swimsuit specials.
Oh man, look, it was only my third annual. This is the third annual swimsuit special. The hottest game girls, the smallest bikinis. This is what you want, people.
Got turned to page 52 immediately.
E3 blowout, 200 new games, the
Look at
top
that.
10 games that
Game
you must
Informer's
buy.
only got like 50.
And this got
They
200
have
just
here
on one
200.
system, Daniel.
Yep.
It's crazy.
Exactly.
America's Best PlayStation 2 magazine. Metal Gear Substance. Oh yeah. I don't know. Substance, did it come on the same time as the PlayStation 2 one, or the Xbox one came out first?
I think they came at the same time.
Okay.
But the Xbox version was superior because like it looked better or whatever.
Yeah. And wait a minute, you could skateboard in Substance?
Yeah, they had like that special mode that ended up turning into that Konami skateboarding game eventually.
Yeah, that's right. I remember. I never did get Substance.
You could skateboard on the tanker.
I just didn't see, like, I didn't want to pay full price for a game that I already had that had some extra shit. And plus, I didn't really have a job, so I was going to ask somebody to buy it for me anyway. All right, so Not a Hoax, VR missions, new secrets, play as Snake and Skate. We already talked about that. Plus,
I guess that is a big
2.
thing. You could actually play as Snake in that game.
It's Metal Gear Solid 2 making of DVD.
Ooh.
Oh, I don't know how good it is, because I know that Final Fantasy one, when I bought the collector's edition, that was oh my God. It was Final Fantasy 12 collector's case I got it from Target. It was a ripoff. I shouldn't have paid $10 more for that. All I got was like this DVD. It was a making of, but it was so bland and with it and everything. I was like, man, this ain't like a making of like I see on those DVDs I be watching on movies, man. It's like, this sucks. It's like that's still keeping a secret. I know y'all be having suicides and stuff that happen in these places.
I don't think they're gonna talk about that in the DVD now.
All right, I just want to be like, hey, why I don't see this guy anymore that you saw at the beginning? That's all.
Yikes!
All right, Dark Cloud 2. Oh yeah, I like that game. Dark Cloud 2 was definitely a whole
Zelda
lot better.
Killer.
Whole lot better than the first one.
Yeah.
It wasn't Zelda killer. It was a Zelda the Moon one killer.
Majora's Mask. Killer.
Majora's Mask, yeah. But the top selling series is back. Top selling, I mean, okay. I guess eventually did get the PlayStation Greatest Hits, but will you ever recognize it? Will you even recognize it? I'm sorry, this goddamn font is so small. Yeah, I mean, I like because they had a cel shaded look. That was pretty good, and I like the building mechanics, and it was a whole lot better in the RPG style. It wasn't like you were going the same fucking dungeon like every time. Even though it was like random generated dungeons in the first one, but it looked the same. I mean, it was still the same. It was just like you just going in a hole, like a freaking mole hole or whatever. Yeah, it was. I don't know why that game got rated so good. It was rated as good as it was, and then it sold. I think it probably sold much because it wasn't that many games out. I mean, it sold a lot. Or definitely more than I would think it should sold. Oh, what Aggressive Inline. I think we talked about that. The Market Cry, definitely. And Stuntman. I was somewhat interested in that game. Plus Shinobi, Contra, and Rygar. I did play Contra. I don't know. I think I played the demo. I think there was a demo of Rygar. So I felt like I played that.
Okay. Rygar was another one that like always looked cool when I saw it. And I did eventually get it when I got a PlayStation, but didn't end up playing too much of it.
You got it. You got it after there was a God of War.
I did. I did.
I was like, everything sucked after that. After I played God of War, I was like, man, that shit sucks. All right, so now we go to the official Xbox magazine, and look what they got on the front. They got Snake on the front because he finally makes his debut on the Xbox. Metal Gear Solid 2 Substance.
Looking like straight up trash on this cover. Like who approved
like
this screenshot? Exactly. Don't just take screenshots from the game and put it on your cover.
I know they and blow it up. Look in the corner here. You got the Ditto Live Extreme Beach Volleyball.
Telling you, Dominic, horny. They were horny that month.
Online Unleashed. Find out what you will be playing and paying.
And who's going to be harassing you online.
Yeah, Football Frenzy, the 3 greatest gridiron games ever made, Madden, Fever, and 2K3. Look at that, 3
Fever.
of them.
Yep.
3 of them.
People were so excited about Fever.
Fever had good graphics.
Yeah, that's true.
That's about
using
it. the full power of the Xbox, Dominic. Full power of the Xbox and Peyton Manning.
And over 50 Xbox stunners. Ain't like what was the other one, like 200? Sorry, Xbox.
Exactly.
Boo, take that.
PSM's got 3, 200, 500, whatever.
Including Lamborghini, Tony Hawk 4, Panzer Dragoon Orta, Wolverine's Revenge, Shenmue 2, and BC. Oh yeah, BC, I remember that.
They really said Lamborghini. Like, the car is a game.
I was about to say, I think it was like Lamborghini something. I don't think it was just called Lamborghini. But Wolverine's Revenge, I'm trying to remember that.
I don't know which one that was.
So all I can think of is Wolverine movie, but I know that is definitely fallen out.
X2, Wolverine's Revenge. Starring Hugh Jackman.
Oh, it is off the movie, but not the movie I'm thinking about. I'm thinking Origins.
Yeah, right.
And this didn't get rated all that great.
No.
But what you got to compare it to, Daniel?
Spider-Man games?
Yeah, that's it. You're just mad because you couldn't swing around.
I'm always mad when I can't swing around.
All right, so what else we got here? What other cover we got here? We got PC Gamer. And this is issue 100, man. This is a collector's edition. Yep, it's right here, too. Special collector's edition. And it's the world's best-selling
still have
PC
your
game
copy.
magazine. Yeah. Yep, digitally. Got it right here. And Warcraft 3 exclusive review. Yes, I was very excited for this game. Like, I couldn't wait till my friend can burn the CD so I could play this game. Because that was the only way I was going to play it.
Yeah.
I was so scared I couldn't play it on my PC. I was like, oh, man, can this be powerful? This game too powerful enough. Too powerful for my PC. But luckily it wasn't. I just love the look. Like, the look of the game was so great. And then when I got to play as the Night Elves, I was like, oh, man, look at the Night Elves. It looks so great. Oh, man. Yeah, I played the shit out of this game. All right, so now we're going back 30 years. We'll look at what Electronic Gaming Monthly had on front. Oh, yeah, one of my favorite games, Sonic 2 on the front.
Yeah.
And look at this, EGM sneak preview, EGM previews. They got Super Star Wars, Phantasy Star 4, Ninja Gaiden 4, Street Fighter 2. Everything's a sequel here except for Super Star Wars. Street Fighter 2, Thunder Force 4, Streets of Rage 2. Afterburner 3, Strider 2. And people talking about how sequels are like, man, see, everything's getting a sequel. Everything was getting,
It's always been that way, exactly.
Yeah, it's always. Damn, this magazine cost $4.95 back in the day. That is like, probably like $500 back in 1992. The Game Doctor comes to EGM. What the fuck that is? Play character versus character in Super Nintendo Street Fighter 2. What the fuck does that even mean? Play character versus character.
Could you only fight the computer in Street Fighter 2 and something else?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I have no idea. But anyway, EGM Super Play, World Through Sega's Tasmania. And I got the game Tasmania. Was that considered a good game? Mine was hard as shit for me. All right, and last but not least, the game, I don't know. I mean, it's Mario Paint. I don't know how people like Mario Paint, honestly. But their Nintendo Power has Mario Paint on the front. And it's kind of like a tribute almost to their first cover where they had like that Play-Doh Mario.
Yeah.
Yeah. With Koopa or something. I don't think it was called Bowser then. Yeah, I don't think it was called Bowser.
Pre-Bowser.
Yeah. Oh, they got something about Street Fighter 2 in here, but that goddamn, what should we call this, blocking it, the damn address. I wish we can see it so we can know to go there and complain.
Hey, next time you scan these covers, make sure you remove your address first, dummy.
All right.
Block our view.
And this is also official Nintendo seal of quality of this magazine. They got the approval up here by Nintendo.
Nice.
The source for news and strategy straight from the pros. Only the pros work at Nintendo Power.
Of course.
All right. So that is it for covers, and that's it for the flashback segment. Now we're going to take a quick break. When we get back, we'll get to the gaming news. And we're back.
So now we're going to the gaming news. What we got there?
All right, Dominic, so we're going to go through some of the stuff we had for last week. AEW's Fight Forever, that's the video game they're coming out with allegedly sometime this year. There's still no release date for it, but there is finally a little more footage out there. I don't know if it's been officially released now, but there was some video footage that leaked. It was like a little skit with Tony Schiavone and Britt Baker. She's one of the big female wrestlers over there. She was the champion for quite a while. Tony Schiavone, of course, is one of the announcers, but they have like an on-screen, not relationship, but friendship. They're always hanging out and stuff. So basically it's a little skit of her like inviting him to her hotel room to play some of this AEW game. So they show some of the gameplay. It looks okay. They also showed off that they're going to have some mini games in there, which is far less interesting to me. Don't waste your time on that stuff. I'm just here for the wrestling video game part. I'm still just hoping it's similar to those old N64 wrestling games, No Mercy, WCW versus NWO World Tour, WrestleMania 2000, those style games. If they can somehow recreate the joy that I had in playing those games, I will be perfectly happy with this game. This
is going to be SmackDown 2 for me.
Well, so that's the thing, is it's being made by Ukes. So like those are the guys that made the SmackDown games. They are not the ones that made those N64 games. But they did bring in like the game director from those N64 games. So there's like a lineage of both of them. And I think a lot of the guys over there, as far as at least wrestlers go, and I don't know how much creative control or input they've had on this stuff. You know, they've kind of been the face talking about this, like Kenny Omega's been out there a lot talking about it. One of the referees, Aubrey Edwards, she actually had a past in video game development. She used to work for a studio before she kind of did this full time. So they've kind of been the faces out there talking about this game. But this is kind of the first time we're really seeing any sort of like at length gameplay footage of it. And for a game that's rumored to be coming out this year, I mean, some of the rumors are placing it as coming out in September, which we're a month away and we've seen like one gameplay video of this. And that's still like a little bit gussied up. It's not just someone sitting there playing the game. That seems a little suspicious to me. I hope it comes out soon if it's ready, but obviously if it needs work, then put it back in the oven for however long it needs to be in there, because I want this game to be good. You know, the AEW is a league that's doing their best to be kind of an alternative to WWE, or at least what Vince McMahon's WWE is now, because we're seeing with Triple H taking over creative at WWE that the product is already kind of taking a drastically different direction. He's bringing in people that have left, you know, or been released rather, already, like basically every show since he's come back. So it's been kind of crazy. But I want their video game to be that for those WWE games, because the last one I really seriously put any time into was the one that had Stone Cold on the cover, which at this point was like 4 years ago, something like that. And it was fine, but it just wasn't what I was looking for in one of those games. And maybe it's the nostalgia in me, but like in a lot of ways, I would just take one of those N64 games with better graphics. You know, maybe there's a larger audience out there of younger people who never had the experience with those games, and to them they would be boring or too slow a pace, because they're definitely a little more deliberate, I guess, like the way that you would do grapples and stuff. But for me, that was like peak wrestling game, and that's what I would still like it to be. So we'll see. We will see. I'm definitely waiting for reviews on that one. That's a thing that I would probably buy somewhere near launch if it's getting good reviews, but I'm not gonna like pre-order it or run out day one before I see anybody's talk about it. So here's to hoping that is good. We also had the rebranding of Coke Media. They're the owners of like Deep Silver and a couple of those companies. They're now going to be called PlayOn, or Play On, but they're spelling it Plaion. So when you're just looking at it, you don't necessarily realize that it's just like, oh, it's kind of a play on.
Yeah.
It's weird. Like, I know I was telling you last week when we were talking about it before recording, like, I don't know if part of it is like, there's the Koch brothers out there that are kind of like notorious in America for their conservative politics.
We all love them.
Yeah.
They're like the Mario brothers in America.
And I don't know.
American Marios.
Definitely living in the sewer, Dominic. But I don't know if it's anything related to that. Like, they don't want to be confused with that. They definitely said like the rebrand was to make it so that people are aware that they're like more into games.
The Koch brothers was going to sue. They were about to sue them. That's what they were about to say.
It could have been that too. But yeah, so that's news, I guess. Play on. Like, it's just the fact that I had to look up a YouTube video to figure out how this thing was pronounced means to me that it's not good branding. But, you know, in a year from now, when everyone's used to it, I'm sure it'll be perfectly fine.
If they last,
they'll be fine, Dominic. I think
hope
they'll be fine. Because yeah, I'm not gonna say that because I don't know if they're, because everything's like consolidating, right? So there's like the what is the company? Embracer Group. Like, I think they own them. See, now I said it because, you know, I couldn't stop myself. But okay, Embracer Group owns Nordic Games. Who else do they own? Governance. I don't want to know about, like, just give me a list of the companies that you own. Because I think they also own THQ, who I don't think I mentioned. Yeah, because THQ is Nordic. Who else do they own here? Oh, here we go. List of subsidiaries. Dark Horse Media, Gearbox. Okay, yeah, they do own PlayOn. So, yeah, Embracer Group owns, like, PlayOn, Gearbox, Saber Interactive, and THQ, who is publishing the AEW game. So it's weird. I don't know. Like, everything's getting smaller, Dominic, while the world is getting bigger. All these companies are kind of gobbling everything up, and I don't know. I'm of two minds of that, because, like, obviously I've talked pretty positively about the Microsoft acquisition of Activision, but, like, so much of that for me is because I felt like Activision was mishandling their properties in a way that I think Microsoft could actually resolve. Mm-hmm. But I don't know if I would feel the same way if it was like Embracer Group buying Activision. I guess because they don't necessarily have a track record of bringing the things back in the right way, right?
Yeah.
Like, Microsoft, I feel like under Phil Spencer, he has a good idea for what people are looking for out of nostalgia and what people are looking for in video games in general. And I think he has done an incredible job in revitalizing that brand, at least in my eyes, because I think I saw on Twitter earlier that it's like the 9-year anniversary of Don Matrick going out there and talking about how the Xbox was going to be online only, and if you wanted to play offline games, you could buy an Xbox 360, and, like, that was a dark time for the Xbox. I mean,
oh yeah,
I think you and I were both like, oh yeah, online only, digital, and then you can, like, digitally share. And the way they were talking about that stuff, we were pretty positive on it because we're in a place where we have pretty reliable internet connections. But there was a large backlash against them, and for a company that was coming off of the 360, which was pretty high, you know, on the list in America. You know, they they struggled a little bit in comparison to the PS3 in Europe, but overall, like worldwide, I think the sales were about even because of that. But they were number one in that 360 era, and then they had the Xbox One come out and just absolutely kind of fall on its face because of a lot of lingering stuff from that announcement. It was like, even though they walked all of that back, it was still like, oh yeah, the Xbox is the console where I can play my video games if I'm, offline or whatever. And everybody took that as like gospel. So a lot of people didn't buy Xboxes right at launch. Not to mention, the number of launch titles and stuff like that was pretty poor, but that's pretty consistent between both of those consoles, the Xbox One and the PS4. So
yeah, it's just more with the Xbox, with the way that they came out about the console, about
and then of course the Kinect being included in the box and all that stuff. So
it kind of just made that a whole lot worse. Yeah. It's just amazing how they just didn't know how to do marketing anymore.
They really didn't. And Philly Spence has come out and done a great job, I think, in cleaning that up a lot, revitalizing their image. I mean, especially Game Pass now we talk about, but they've made some smart business decisions and smart visual decisions just to appear as a much more consumer friendly brand.
So, all right. So with Sony suing them, like we didn't talk about that, did we?
I don't think so.
Oh, okay. With the not suing them. I'm sorry. With them attacking Xbox about the Activision acquisition.
Oh, like basically saying, hey, they're gonna Xbox is gonna sell more.
Xbox came back saying that Sony has been paying companies to not put their games in Game Pass.
Yeah.
And like some people were like upset, saying, well, that's just like an exclusive deal. And I'm saying, like, wait a minute, Xbox, they weren't saying anything about it until Sony came at them about Call of Duty,
right,
saying it was like one of the essential games or something like that. And yeah, they never came out and said that until that. So I think at that is all fair game. It's like, wait a minute, if one company's attacking somebody for possibly keeping, because we still don't know what they're going to do with Call of Duty. We don't know if they're going to make it exclusive.
Oh,
to
we
Xbox.
know, Dominic. We know.
But them saying that they're going to possibly taking it away can mess up the market or something. Sony's getting mad, upset about that. Yeah, then Xbox bringing up about Sony doing deals, keeping games from their Game Pass. Yeah, I mean, I think that's a good argument. It's like, wait a minute, if you gotta we're doing. What's the difference between what we're doing than what you're doing? Like,
yeah.
What makes it any better? What makes it worse or better, or whatever you want to look at it? So yeah, I mean, I don't like it either way. I mean, either way, like I will. Hey, Call of Duty can be all the consoles. I mean, be honest, I get what Xbox is doing, but hey, Sony went and got Bungie. They went and got Destiny right after that. Yeah. Now you can. It's an argument to say like, hey, but Call of Duty is bigger than Destiny, and yeah, it is, but it's not like it's nothing either.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, I mean, but I also like knowing that. I mean, we always suspected that. I always suspected that because I always thought like, why some games don't come on Xbox? Because I'm like, now them specifically just saying Game Pass is something different, but I can definitely see that because I think they're doing it. They're saying, hey, you can't come out on this console, like at all. Just specifically this one, because you see them on everything else except for the Xbox. I'm like, why did this game didn't come out here?
Yeah, because the reality is like the Xbox is their only direct competitor. The Switch just isn't. It's in its own class of thing, and the same with PC.
Exactly, and it's just the funny thing with the Switch is like their consoles. I mean, just like the Wii, it sells like hotcakes. Like they just sell a lot, but the games, it's just certain games that sell.
Yeah, on your Mario Karts, your Nintendo first parties, mostly.
Yeah, it's not like a third party game sells like I'm trying to think. like, because the big third party games like Call of Duty, they're not even on that console.
No.
And
yeah, because it's just for an audience. It really is.
Exactly. So that's why it's like Clash's own. I mean, yeah, you go by the sales and stuff, say, hey, like it's kicking those guys' butts because it's just selling so many consoles and stuff. That's true, but it's just different. It's just just like how the Wii was. It's just a different type of Clash. See, it was more of a big deal when it was a Wii U. It was really close to those consoles so that's when you really see like, man, Nintendo's falling behind because they're essentially just the same as, you know, the Xbox and the PlayStation, but they're going forward to the new generation, and Nintendo's kind of in between, and it's like, why even have it? Like, why even have their console except for the exclusives? But that was enough for people. But now, with this whole handheld thing, their exclusives help it, and just being, it being handheld,
different
and portable
type of device,
it helps it too.
I just wonder how the Steam Deck's going to eat into that for them. I mean, obviously, right now it's more expensive. It's a lot bigger. It's
Can you
not
buy a
necessarily...
Steam Deck at Walmart?
What's that? Not yet, but once they get in a retail space, whether that be, you know, all your retail spaces like a Walmart and a Target, or if it's just, I mean, I was thinking about this because one of the podcasts I was listening to was basically saying like, oh yeah, they could do like an exclusive deal with Best Buy, but like, I don't know where that guy's from, but like, holy shit, man, there's like not a single Best Buy around me anymore. Like they're all shutting down.
Yeah. I mean, that's a guy in a bubble. I mean, it's not his fault. And I mean, he doesn't go to probably a lot of places.
He probably doesn't even go to Best Buy. He doesn't know that there's not Best Buys around. Yeah,
anymore. He probably just says like, "Hey, that's what those normies go to, right?"
Yeah.
So they Best Buy, no, Best Buy doing an exclusive deal with Best Buy. I don't know how that would help you unless Best Buy just putting a ton of money to you that you just can't say no. Because I'm like, well, you ain't gonna get a lot of sales, but you got. I guess the Best Buy money can help you with cover that part, but. Nah, I don't think you need to go exclusive to nobody unless it's Amazon or Walmart.
Yeah, and even then, like, I wouldn't go. Yeah, it's better to just get that in front of people's faces because I really think like once people are given the opportunity to easily buy that thing, there's definitely a market for it, you know. So we shall see. I wonder if we start seeing other companies. You got to sell it
in a certain way too, because even they can show it off. I mean, come on, the PS Vita was better. I mean, it's just to say it was better than the DS, but 3DS still killed it.
The thing that helps the Steam Deck, I think, the most is just how big that library is. Is there a game you want to play? You can probably play it on the Steam Deck. You know what I mean?
But you can't advertise that you can steal games, though.
It's not even about stealing games. It's about, you know,
no, I'm talking about like Nintendo because.
But yes, you could also say, hey, you can play your Switch games on here.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I mean, technically, you can say that, but they can't say it. You gotta hope somebody. You gotta.
Just put a kiosk in a Target that has a Switch running Zelda and then a Steam Deck running Zelda at a higher frame rate at a higher resolution. That's how you sell that thing.
But it will sell it to me. Like I said, I just wanted, can their marketing do it? Can their marketing do it so they can get it out there so people will grab it?
Yeah,
I guess it got just to be like Switch sales, but just good enough sales.
I mean, that is the thing that does concern me a little bit. I mean, I don't really care either way. It's not like I'm bought into Steam, but
yeah.
I don't necessarily think that Valve's like PR is very good. Like, there's
I never really noticed anything.
They've never had to advertise anything, right? Like, it's basically been like, our fans sell these. I mean, the quality of the things that they put out usually are what sell their things. But like, we saw them flop with the Steam boxes. We saw the Steam controller go absolutely nowhere.
The HTC.
So the crazy thing about that is you look at Steam and their sales charts, and that's still like number one every time you look at that chart. Now, one could argue that, you sell 2 of those things and that's $2,000 right there. So that's more sales than a 40 or 30 or $60
they don't go by units,
game.
they just go by money. Oh, okay.
I'm thinking that's the way it's got to be. There's no way that a piece of hardware is selling more than whatever your top game is, piece wise. So I'm thinking it's got to be by dollars. So because they just can't produce that many, I would imagine. But with it being always up there, like it seems like it's still popular to somebody, and I don't know if that's like an industry that's using them, because like VR really does have a lot of applications outside of just entertainment that it could change things in a lot of ways. I mean, you've seen, or at least I've seen some stories of like doctors performing surgeries remotely because they're using VR headsets and remote equipment. Like that's incredible, but like even
and scary.
And scary. But also things like just architecture and building services and stuff like that. You can literally just build a 3D representation of the thing that you're going to eventually physically build and have someone be able to walk through that and imagine it. Like for sales, I feel like that's just an incredible tool. Not to mention, whatever Tony Stark-esque engineering stuff that you can do with it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
In a lot of ways, I mean, the tools need to be designed for it, but because in a lot of ways you think about stuff like that and how precise some things need to be. And it feels like the mouse would be more appropriate than your hand waving around, but maybe it's just the level of tracking that needs to improve or the way that those programs need to be designed to minimize error in input, I guess. But I mean, VR, it could be incredible. I mean, right now it's definitely still in its infancies, and part of me thinks we're starting to grow out of that a little bit because Meta feels like it can raise the price on it. So it's not like, hey, we're just trying to get as many people to get a headset as possible. Now it's into like, oh, this headset is popular, people want it, now we can charge them whatever we want to get from it. So I really don't know where that stuff goes. Honestly, I don't even know where this conversation started.
Well, it started because you was talking. Honestly, I wasn't paying attention, but I heard you talk about
with the Switch and the Steam Deck and all that.
No, before that, it was with it was about Xbox and
right, yeah, because we were talking about the competition stuff, and then yeah okay, that was a long journey, Dominic. Yeah. So, anything else before we go on to the next one?
But yeah, I mean, I think we're good. I think we're good.
All right, Dominic. So last week there was also a Pokemon Direct, and with that came out some news. You got a legendary at the beginning of the game that is also used as like your transportation. Like these guys got wheels, they got jets on them. They're flying, driving, climbing. Although this red one, for whatever reason, has wheels, but is just walking everywhere. Seems like he's not taking full advantage of his anatomy.
Because his was inputted like unlike the other one. They saw the other one, it was like, hey, we want this one to have wheels too. And the humans, they just put it on him. And he doesn't know what to do with them.
Talking like Nazi level fucking the modification of Pokemon that these human beings are doing in this region, Dominic. I don't know this is appropriate anymore. I mean, I'm okay with just like capturing them in a tiny space and sending them out when you want to fight each other, but putting wheels on them, that's wrong.
I mean, the game, it looks like it looks good, like we said before with the previous ones, and what we saw of this one before is that, hey, this was like maybe like 10 years ago, or maybe a little bit more, probably. It would be like, yeah, we finally got here, but it took them like 20 plus years.
This is the Pokemon game we should have got on the GameCube.
Yeah, it should have been. This is like a GameCube. Yeah, this is what we should have had in the GameCube. it should be at the point where those games, they can still do cartoony and stuff, shit, but they would be a whole lot better. At least it'd be voice acting everywhere. And the Pokemon,
or anywhere for that matter.
And the Pokemon would actually say their name instead of.
I mean, that's the crazy thing, right? Is like every Pokemon we've seen in this game has probably appeared in the anime at some point. You got those voice lines already. Like, you could just throw that in the game. That's not a thing. And maybe even give somebody an option, right? Like, for the people who are like, I want to listen to the old version. I want to hear that, like, internal and old sounds
weird,
or something.
Because that's not something like, oh, that's a staple. That's not.
It makes me nostalgic, Dominic, when I hear
that just, I mean, that was literally because they can't really do no real sounds. On the freaking
it's my
Game
ringtone.
Boy.
How dare you? It's just, I mean, that's what drives me crazy is like, you've got the resources already in a lot of cases for some of the things that people are asking for. Like, just come on. And I know there's a level of like, now I'm getting into the like, oh, you already have the models for these Pokemon in the previous games. How come you can't put all 7 million Pokemon in this one game? Like, it's whatever. But come on, like at some point you got the resources, utilize them to improve your game. Like we're getting tired, Dominic. Getting tired of this old shit.
I guess for the people who just love Pokemon, they're gonna probably love it anyway. And for people who are just new to it, I mean they're new to it, so it's like yay. But whatever. There's people our age who be playing these games, and I'm like, y'all the problem. You are the problem because y'all ain't complaining enough about this. And I'm talking to those people across the sea too, on Japan. Those people complain. I like that it's open world. I mean, it seems like they're finally doing that fully. That
definitely needs to be the direction.
And I mean, it looks good. I mean, like you said, it was like it looks empty. Like some of the open worldness, and it could be, like I said, it could be more detailed. Like I said. But like you just said, if it was on the GameCube, it would have been all right.
We're many generations into this. I mean, we're talking, you mentioned it before we started recording, but Grand Theft Auto 5 has been out on 3 generations now, which means like Xbox 360 level hardware, which is basically around the Switch, maybe a little stronger in the Switch. You could pull off some pretty dense environments, and then you jump to something like this, or even like you mentioned, Breath of the Wild. Like, maybe not pushing it here,
Yeah.
What's going on?
Yeah, and I'm looking at this. I'm thinking, shucks, man, this should be able to run great.
Yeah. And there's going to be rough spots once you get like 3 Pidgeys on screen or whatever at one time.
Yeah, like this is just run like really like perfectly, like don't slow down. But yeah, what else? How's something else about this? But back to those legendaries. Yeah. I mean, like when do you get them? Like they show them off. I mean, like how far in the game will it be to the point where I even care to fly around, or I haven't been mostly everywhere where it's just a few places I just haven't been.
Yeah. And I wonder how that how that correlates to the open worldness and the ability to go to whatever gym you want. Like, can I utilize that to kind of skip some areas? Can I basically get to the gym without having to worry about fighting Pokemon on the ground in random battles that might take me out? Definitely want to see what the speedrunning community ends up doing with this game, if it is as open as they seemingly make it out to be.
Well, yeah, I just don't. Yeah, they're also those legendaries are basically everything. Like you say, they got all the HMs because they even swim too. So yeah, I mean, even though he was using his wheels to swim. Not the red one, but it's
not
still,
the red one.
I don't think he ever uses wheels. I think he just never uses wheels.
I really didn't notice that the first time I watched that trailer until you said something like, that dude's got a big ass tire in the middle of his chest. Like, it doesn't even look like it's a natural thing. At least like the blue one or the purple one or the violet one, I guess. Yeah. It kind of does. It looks a little more natural. But like, and then that dude's just running around. Like, he doesn't use the wheel a single time. We've created monsters, Dominic. We've created monsters.
Well, they are. They're pocket monsters.
They're pocket monsters, yes. True.
Oh, so yeah, I always say like no voice acting.
Yeah, even though they try and fake you out in this direct with this guy talking about this quest that you're going on, but apparently that's not indicative of it actually being in the game, which is just like, come on, guys.
Because I thought it was, and I think I read somewhere, somebody said, that's not. I said, oh, it's not in the game. I said, oh my goodness. I said,
which is only further disappointing because it's not even like that voice acting was particularly good.
And you said that you could go to any gym and any, like, you don't have to go in order.
That's what I've heard is you could basically take the gyms in whatever order you can handle, I guess, basically.
Yeah. I mean, if that's the case, like I said, I don't like it because then it's like if you go to the higher level gym, they should just send you right to the whatever their Elite Four or whatever they have in this game to go to, because it's like I beat the best person. I mean, the whole point of the story is that they shouldn't let you do it. That's what I'm saying. They should lock in and say, like, look, you're wasting our time, and like we don't know how good you are. We ain't gonna waste your time to come fight our gym leader. You better go to those other places. Yeah. It's like, this is how it works.
I'd really like to see that affect the story. Like if they're giving you that option, like, hey, you roll up there, they're like, no, we're not going to fight you. And then you're like, well, I challenge you anyway. And then you attack them with your Pikachu or whatever. But like, then if you beat them, I want everybody, like all the other gym leaders to be like, oh shit, this dude just rolled up on the toughest guy. Like, well, we got to train up or something. I mean, so that's the thing, right? Is like that's kind of my problem with it is they say it doesn't scale, which to me, like if I'm one of those gym leaders, if I'm Brock and you just beat Giovanni, I'm of course going back to the like Gen 1 stuff because that's what I know the best. I'm going to find out that you just beat Giovanni, the best dude that we got before the Elite Four, and I'm going to fucking kick my Onyx's ass to make him more powerful.
Exactly.
Give him all the stones or whatever. I'm going to turn him into a Steelix. I don't even know if that's how the evolution works or if that's a completely different Pokemon. But yeah, I'm gonna get my Onyx up to level 100. I'm gonna make sure my Geodude gets evolved. Like it just makes sense for that stuff to scale.
You know what? Actually, I think Gary in the TV show, he actually didn't go in order like Ash did. Well, see, I don't think they were based on levels. I don't think like the show didn't really go like, hey, this is this level. That was just a game thing. So maybe they're trying to say like, hey, we're trying to make it more real. But thing is, like you said, like if you don't put in the story and it's just like you go talk to them, it's just like the regular voice lines or the text lines that was going to be there regardless of when I saw them. It don't feel the same. It don't feel like, hey man, I just beat the best one. Like you said, man. But they don't want to do it. They ain't going that deep in the story.
I mean, that's what it comes down to, right? Is like, more so even than like our gameplay issues. It's like we just want better stories in these games. You're an RPG, like that's kind of what RPGs hang their hats on. So like maybe put some more effort into that. Because you got the gameplay to the point where you're going to get the gameplay. I mean, like you're adding this diamond thing, your crystallization, terralization or whatever. Like every game they're adding some little gimmicky thing because for the most part, they got the battle system to the place they want it to be. Now, will we eventually see a day where we're seeing like the Final Fantasycation or whatever? I mean, I guess maybe that's what Arceus is. Where you're doing like more real-timey kind of battles. You're moving around while giving people instruction or your Pokemon's instruction. But I mean, with the way Pokemon Company evolves these games, it feels like we're going to be looking at another 10 years before we start seeing anything like that.
Yeah. And I know it's a kid's game. Like, so you don't need to go that deep. With the,
I mean, Kingdom Hearts is a kid's game too, Dominic. They got that.
I don't know what that is, honestly. Because if it is, I'm like, don't those kids understand the story?
That's why it's a kid's game, because they designed the story for no one to understand. And that's why it doesn't matter if kids don't understand it.
Yeah, Kingdom Hearts is in that weird place of like, whatever.
There's a very Disney adult vibe to Kingdom Hearts, right? It's because like that first game came out when we were younger and impressionable, and the story still kind of made sense. And then they were like, "Oh yeah, they're becoming adults now, so we can make this more complicated in anime." And then they made it too complicated and messed up.
But it shouldn't have been. It should have been really simple. Simple.
Should have just been Sora and the gang going to different Disney worlds trying to save Mickey or whatever the fuck happens in that game.
I mean, that guy, it could still be. Their games have done it where it could be a thing for kids and still be a good story. You know, I mean, Grand Theft Auto, man, it's for kids, and
absolutely,
it's a good story because there's a whole bunch of kids I know who's playing online on that thing.
Yeah, but they're not engaging with the story, don't they? Grand Theft Auto is all about the gameplay for the kids.
Yeah, there's just a story online in those missions.
Yeah,
like you can do it. Like it can be done. It's just so frustrating because I was like, darn man, y'all could really make the Pokemon game I want. And it's like y'all somewhat there, but y'all just ain't one fully there.
They're moving at a snail's pace. We definitely could have been a lot further in this evolutionary process of Pokemon games had they not just made a million trillion dollars right off the bat, and then they were like, oh, we can just keep giving them the same shit every time. But admittedly, I'm part of the problem. I mean, up until like Emerald, I bought every one of those games. So, yeah. And they were all the fucking same.
I don't think I bought any Pokemon game. I think
good job.
Fight the system. My mom bought it for me in like 8th grade. She bought Pokemon, but that was it. That was the only one I ever really got. The other ones I just played on emulator, or my friends. I borrowed from my friends. I borrowed it from them, but yeah. All right. So what we got next?
All right, Dominic, this last one from last week, this is more of a rumor thing, but allegedly Tencent is interested in becoming a majority shareholder in Ubisoft. You know, we've seen, what'd you say?
I said, there we go.
Oh, okay. I thought you said hell no for a second.
Oh.
It's like these Chinese companies coming in and taking our European companies.
I'm all for the Chinese overlords thing. I accepted it.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen them already invest in Riot. We've seen them invest in Epic. You know, Tencent is definitely getting involved in this stuff. And we've talked now for a while about, like, what is Ubisoft going to do ever since they were able to kind of get away from Vivendi. And, you know, you think they're going to be open to this, Dominic? Or you think they're willing to take some of that money and go on? Because they were basically saying from these reports that Tencent would be offering them double their current share price, like somewhere in the range of $100 per share when they're trading currently at like 43 or something like that. So like, it seems like it's a big money deal. I mean, I don't know. I'll say this, like, it feels like Tencent's done a pretty good job of getting invested in these companies and then not having their fingerprints all over them. Like, it doesn't seem like these companies have changed the way that they do business because they've been involved with Tencent. So,
yeah, I mean, I haven't seen that, so it's not a problem. I think Tencent, they're just getting ready when they take over, so they know like they have control of these companies.
Yes.
When the CCP takes over everything.
I mean, just think about it, Dominic. His first step in China taking over is going to be turning off Fortnite, and then just, you know, what are kids gonna do? Or that's when they put the best Fortnite content in there, so they distract the children. Because I feel like if you turn off Fortnite, you get them angry and riled up.
Yeah,
and all the guns in America, they're just gonna take down China. I've seen what is that, Red Dawn? I've seen that movie. Just teenage kids taking down the Chinese government, or I think it was.
I've never seen the new one.
I don't know. I definitely have not. And did they change that to North Korea or something like that?
Yeah, I believe they did.
Because it was originally supposed to be China. God.
Yeah, because the Chinese said no.
Yep.
No.
Not in our house. Wait, this is America. I said what I said. All right. All right, Dominic. Let's move on to some news we had for this past week. A lot of delays, a lot of announcements of some release dates. First up, we got Marvel's Midnight Suns. That was supposed to be coming out October 7th after having been delayed from earlier this year. Now that is being delayed and to no specific date, which is probably for the best, but they are saying that it will be out before the end of this fiscal year. Well, not this fiscal year. I think it's this fiscal year, which is March 31st, 2023. So we could be looking at just it releasing around the same time it was supposed to earlier this year, just next year. So what is your level of interest in Midnight Suns?
It's very low.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not that really that interested. Even though I did like the what was the games before?
XCOM,
the XCOM games, but I'm not really interested in this. I mean, it could be good. I probably still won't be interested, honestly.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm just not. Yeah. I mean, maybe it all depends how I feel when it comes out and where I'm at in my life and whatever. So I was like, hey, I'll play a game like this.
Yeah, the card stuff is different. You know, it adds something different than XCOM. I don't know if I just want a Marvel XCOM, but at the same time, like, it's kind of off-putting to me because I don't like dealing with deck building stuff, especially when it's not. I don't want to say it's not the main focus of the game because maybe it is. Maybe that's kind of what it is. But like to me, the gameplay is the tactical aspect of it. So like then I'm having to also deal with cards, and I don't
like the randomness of the cards. Is,
It's bad enough. I'm taking a shot from a foot away, and it's like 96%, and I somehow still miss. So like I'll need cards in there too. Heart of Cards is not with me sometimes, Dominic. All right, we got another delay. We got Hogwarts Legacy that has been delayed out of this year to February 10th, 2023.
I didn't even know it was coming out this year.
Yeah, I don't think they've given a specific date, but they kept saying like, hey, it's coming out this year, which should have just been a signal that it was coming out next year anyway. Yeah. Because that's how everything has been over these past couple of years. We do have a new announcement of a release window, I guess you would say. They didn't give a specific date, but Metal Slug Tactics is coming out in 2023. So we got a new tactics game there. And Kirby's Dream Buffet, which I wrote a buffer here.
I know Dream Buffer.
Michael Buffer. So let's get ready to rumble. That's coming out August 17th. It's going to be $15. That is the one that's kind of like a Fall Guys-esque thing. You're basically a Kirby racing down as a ball these courses, trying to collect the most food. It looks fun. $15, I don't know. I'm definitely going to have to wait to see more.
What is the single-player aspect of the game? Like, it's just
that I don't think there's going to be much single player aspect to it at all, honestly, which like you and I were talking about makes me think you maybe should have just made this a free to play, or as Nintendo likes to call them, free to start kind of game. Get people in there, let them try it out, see that it's a lot of fun, and then maybe sell them on some
multiplayer mode to a real Kirby game.
You know, like the one that came out earlier this year. Weird, huh? Could just put that in there. Yeah. I don't know. They've been doing a lot of weird like multiplayer stuff with Kirby since the Switch, and it feels like none of them have really hit. So
yeah,
we will see how Dream Buffet turns out. It's a cute premise, but I don't know. All right, Dominic, I should have rearranged these so we were talking about Tactics stuff still, but Tactics Ogre Reborn, that is a remaster of the Tactics Ogre game. That's coming out November 11th from Square on PC, PS4, PS5, and Switch. Another game, Dominic, that they're trying to keep off the Xbox platform. This one adds voice acting and improved visuals. Have you ever been into these games? What do you think?
Well, Tactics, or it's not that really into them, but I do play them. Because I played the Final Fantasy one, both of them, 1 and 2, the Tactics. Final Fantasy Tactics Advance 1 and 2. I do want to play Final Fantasy Tactics. I think it was a re-release. I don't know if it was a remaster of that one though. I think it was just a re-release of that one, and that's what Tactics Ogres basically is. It's like that. And I played a game that was on Game Gear. That was my first Tactics game.
Oh, wow.
That's when I learned I really like the game. And I don't remember what it was called, but I didn't buy the game. My aunt used to work at the airport, and somebody had left their Game Gear stuff, and so she gave the Game Gear to my cousin and gave the games to me. She gave some games to me, so I already had a Game Gear, and that's where I had that game. And at first, I was thinking man, this game looks stupid. I don't know what this is. But then I think I was just bored one day. I was just trying it to see what the hell this is, and I got addicted to it. I was like, and I was I forgot. Was that in elementary school? I think it was in late elementary school when I was really seriously started playing it. And then every now and then, I think I bored it out, and I would never have batteries, so I always just plugged it up next to my bed or something, and play it in middle school. I think through middle school and stuff, and even early high school, I would bring it out and just play the game. And because I used to like that tactic stuff, I gotta figure out how to bring how I'm gonna attack all these enemies or get to the boss or something. And I gotta remember what the game is called, but because the I know the cover of the game was kind of messed up, but I never read it. I always went past the screen, didn't even know what the hell the name was. But I played the hell out of that game, and I like those games. So when Final Fantasy Tactics Advance, I heard it was good, and then I finally got the DS. I said I want to get this game, nice. And I started playing the hell out of that. And then 2 I borrowed. I played some of that. I didn't beat that one though. There was another one I played. I played a little bit of Disgaea, early Disgaea before. I think it was a demo though, but I really liked it. So I enjoy those games. I just never really buy them, but I do like them.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of curious about seeing this one day. Maybe it'll come on Game Pass. It's going to be a time they say, "Hey, we finally getting it. It's on Game Pass," and it's yay.
That does seem to be kind of the way that those go if they ever do make it to Xbox. So here's the hoping. All right, Dominic, we talked about Fortnite a little bit a couple of minutes ago, but there's some new content coming to Fortnite, and it's going to be Dragon Ball, so we're going to get to see Goku shooting at people. This is a good time, I guess. These properties are just getting weirder and weirder. I know I'm kind of selective about when I talk about a Fortnite thing, but Dragon Ball feels like a pretty big get for Fortnite, even with as big a gets as Fortnite has gotten.
I was about to say they get everything.
Yeah.
They get everything. Now they got even anime stuff now. Yeah. So I'm waiting for Hello Kitty to get in there.
Naruto's already in there, right?
Oh, I didn't know that.
I thought he was.
They got Hello Kitty?
I don't think Hello Kitty's in there just yet. Might be coming, though.
I'm trying to think of another property that's... they gotta start getting some of the very feminine properties,
Barbie. Can you get Barbie in there?
Yeah, Barbie. I'm trying to think what's out there, because that ended. The She-Ra cartoon thing, that ended on Netflix.
Okay. She-Ra doesn't need a gun, Dominic.
I don't know. My Little Pony or something like that.
Oh my god.
Is that still a thing?
We need My Little Ponies with guns. Yes, but My Little Pony was never about women or girls, Dominic. We all know. We all know what that was.
I said feminine. I ain't saying.
Sailor Moon. Can we get Sailor Moon in Fortnite?
You know, Sailor Moon, that's the thing I just don't see a lot anymore.
Nah, it's really not.
It's really, even though it was super popular. And I'm surprised they're not wait a minute. I think they was in Japan, but I don't hear nothing about it, a real life Sailor Moon thing.
Don't give Netflix ideas, Dominic.
Oh shit. They probably had it. It's probably in there. They've been just sitting on a shelf or something.
Yeah, I mean, it feels like it could be time for some company to revisit Sailor Moon, make a new updated one, since it's not like a currently running thing.
Yeah.
So put out some movies like they do Dragon Ball. You can revitalize that, I feel like. Sailor Moon's pretty cool, I think, Dominic. Spoken from a 30-year-old man. All right, Dominic. Speaking of Dragon Ball, though, Evo happened last weekend, and there were some announcements that came out of that, including Dragon Ball Fighter Z. It's going to be coming to the PS5 and Xbox Series X and S, and it's going to add rollback netcode. That an update for that will also be coming to PC. There's no word yet on when that will actually happen. And that is not coming to the last gen consoles, and no one said anything about Switch, which makes me think it's definitely not coming to the Switch version. Are you into fighting games enough to care whether it has rollback netcode or whatever the regular netcode is?
Because I didn't know what it was saying. I was just thinking it's gonna be better graphics. It's like that's when they see my netcode thing, I say, it don't matter. I ain't playing online against anybody.
Yeah. I mean, that's the thing for me. It's not even whether it provides a better experience or not. It's I'm just not going online, especially this late into the game's life cycle. The only people still playing that game are people that are far too good for me to play against. So it's I'm not even worried about it, but that's cool. I mean, I know there's a lot of people in the fighting game community that are very much about rollback netcode because it seemingly offers a better experience for online fighting. So I'm glad they're doing that for those people. And then there was also a reveal from SNK that there's going to be a new Fatal Fury game that people may be familiar with. Terry Bogard. He's the guy in the red and white hat with the red jacket. You've seen him in things like Smash Brothers.
Is that just a beat 'em up?
It's a fighting game.
So it's still a fighting game, just like what was the other SNK game?
What is the other SNK fighting game? SNK is always the one that I just forget the names of.
Never mind. Maybe it's called Fatal Fury. I don't know. But I thought there was another one.
There's Samurai Showdown. They make that one.
Okay.
There's also
that's what it was.
Something Star Mark of Ninja, Mark of the Wolves. That's the one I'm thinking of. There's also that one. King of Fighters. That's the other one.
King of Fighters. Yes, that's what it was. Yeah, King of Fighters. Yeah, because they just came out of a King of Fighters game.
Yeah. Yeah. So we don't have any sort of details on this, whether they're going to move it into a 3D realm or keep it 2D or what they're going to do. But that was kind of the big news coming out of Evo. Did you catch any of Evo? Were you interested at all in watching any of that?
Oh, I did. I just missed it.
Yeah.
I missed all of it.
I heard it was an exciting time, but I have not gone back yet to watch some of that stuff. Because I do like watching, even though I'm not a big Tekken guy, watching those Tekken fights was always pretty cool. Just the way they so seamlessly kind of transition between moves. It's not one of those things where Street Fighter a lot of times can be people standing on either sides of the screen, kind of holding the dodge or holding the block button, even though the other person's not doing a move, anticipating someone doing a move kind of thing.
Yeah.
Whereas Tekken, it feels like it's always just action, 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 action. And I'm here for that. So, and I always like seeing the Mortal Kombat stuff too, because I actually do like that game a lot. Yeah, so that's kind of the news this week, Dominic. Did you see anything else worth talking about?
Nah, man, I think I'm good.
All right, we got new releases from these past 2 weeks, Dominic. We got Hindsight for the PC, Switch, and iOS. This game is one of those things that's hard to classify as a game, because it seems more like an experience. It's basically the story that's being told from almost birth through, I would assume, someone's death, or at least an older age. And it's kind of visually interesting. You're looking into things in the environment, and then it kind of seamlessly transitions to the next phase of your life. It looks all right, but it's not a game that I'm
it's just called Hindsight?
Hindsight, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they kind of were talking about that during the Annapurna showcase that they had last week. Also out now is Hard West 2 for the PC. I was confusing this one with Evil West. It's because it's another kind of like isometric tactical.
Exactly. Like the game I was playing. Yeah, exactly.
Mm-hmm. So I was like, oh, they're coming out with 2 of this already, and I was like, didn't one just come out? No, that this is a whole different series, and one came out many years ago. So I'm just being stupid. We also have Gigabash that's out now on the PC, PS4, and PS5. That's like the kaiju battle game, big monsters fighting each other. That looks fun. I have not seen reviews on that, but let's see on
what's it called again?
Gigabash.
Gigabash.
Metacritic says 71, 72. So not too bad.
All right. Yeah.
We also got.
Is it on PC?
Yes, it is on PC.
Oh, yeah. Nice.
We also got Hooked on You, a Dead by Daylight dating sim. I think
Passion Republic Games made it. I don't know.
Passion Republic?
It doesn't sound a little too close to the Chinese Republic.
Does it? I can't play anything that has the word Republic in it anymore. All right, yeah. Hooked on You, a Dead by Daylight dating sim. That looks so silly. I hadn't seen reviews for this, but I hope it's good just because it seems like such a silly concept. Basically, it's a dating sim, but you're dating the monsters from the Dead by Daylight series. So far on Metacritic, it's got a 78. So that's,
I felt like we talked about this.
We did. When they announced it, we talked about it a little bit.
Yeah.
So
that was so weird. Yeah, I was like, oh my God, yes, I remember this now. Oh, Jesus Christ. I have repressed it from my freaking mind.
Yeah.
Looking at the Trapper. Oh my God, Trapper. No. Put some clothes on.
Stupid sexy Trapper.
Like a fucking spandex ass bathing suit he wearing.
All right. We also have Axiom Verge out now for the PS2. Axiom Verge 2 out now for the PS5. Brains breaking. So that's out now if you want to play that there. You got Cult of Lamb. That is now out on the PC.
I love the lamb cults.
PC, Switch, PS4, PS5, Xbox One.
I love when the
Xbox
cults, when they be cutting lambs and bleed and put the blood in the...
So like I don't think that's one of these cults, Dominic, because it looks like the lamb is the cult leader in this. So
so he's like, yes.
So he's cutting up humans and bleeding them out.
Cut them. Yeah, bleed them out.
And this is from the guys who made like Don't Starve and what is that one? The side-scrolling one where Shank, that game.
Oh, okay.
I liked the idea of liking Don't Starve more than I ever actually liked playing that game. So I wonder what the gameplay in Cult of Lamb is like. As long as it's not like survivally, I think I'd be more into it. But it's getting decent reviews right now, so that's good. We also have Rumbleverse that is out on PC, PS4, PS5, Xbox One, and Xbox Series X. That is the Battle Royale, but with wrestling and up-close moves instead of guns. I haven't seen any reviews on this one yet. I looked at it the other day in the Epic Store, and I was like, because it is free to play, and I was like, am I interested enough to download this? And I turned out I was not, because like Battle Royale games, I'm kind of like up and down on anyway, but there's something about like close quarters combat of Battle Royales. Like it's not going to be as good as a fighting game. And I feel like just the idea of like, I don't know, hit priority and stuff like that is so silly in one of those games that I don't know if it would do anything for me. But it looks cute. It has a very Knockout City vibe to me. It looks fine, but it's just not doing much for me.
So it's like so what is the stage getting smaller as you fight too. Is that?
Yeah, I think you also have that aspect. You know, it's you know, I don't know how many players, to be honest with you, but you know, a large number of players. You're all just doing.
And it's an Epic Games published game.
Yeah.
Iron Galaxy, the guys who did the Killer Instinct.
Yep. So like, there's pedigree there. It's just the idea of it is like, we also have Marvel Spider-Man Remastered. That's now out on the PC. We already know what that game is. You know, it's good. And
no idea.
No idea. Seems like it's pretty good on the PC. It's got ultra widescreen support, as well as what else did I see that they added to that? There was a couple of things, but nothing fundamentally different there. You can play it on a Steam Deck now. It's Steam Deck verified, so for me, there's an appeal there if I had a Steam Deck, because it's like, oh, I could just take this game anywhere now. But yeah, if anything, I'm waiting for the Miles Morales on the PC to finally like play that, or I could just not be dumb and hook my PS4 back up and play it there, like I should have for the past like 2+ years. And then we have 2 Point Campus, Dominic. That's out on the PC, Nintendo Switch, PS4, PS5, Xbox One, and Xbox Series X. You were telling me you were
the Switch, man. That could be cool to play on Switch. Yeah, but yeah, I got it on. Well, because it's on Game Pass, so I played it on a PC, and yeah, I mean, it's addictive. I mean, because I was addicted to 2 Point Hospital, so it's like that. It's silly. It has I like some of the commentating through the announcements, like you hear them talking, like it's like sound like a college radio show, and they'd be saying some silly things. I'm just at the very beginning though of it. I'm on my first college campus. I just have one course, and well, actually, I just started my second course and had another building. Like it's called a virtual reality, some type of course or something like that. And yeah, I'm just trying to figure out how I want to set it up, like with the dorm situations and things of that nature.
Co-ed dorms, Dominic. Always go with co-ed dorms.
Well, they don't go Pacific with that. Okay. So I think they all just co-ed. It's just dorms. But yeah, it's fun. I mean, those games I've always loved those type of like tactical / I guess what would you call it? Like Simish?
I was gonna ask. Like, I've seen the game before, but I'm not too familiar with it. It is kind of like The Sims, right?
Yeah, but it's more like Sim City,
okay.
You know, kind of way. It's not like The Sims. It's more like Sim City and things of that nature.
You're not like micromanaging them in that way.
Yeah, you're just imagining the buildings. You imagine everything.
Gotcha.
Just like how Jurassic World is, the Jurassic World game. Like you're managing the college, and you're keeping like a steady flow of money coming in, and like getting like if the people need trash or like Planet Coaster, or things like that.
Are you paying the football players, Dominic? That's my question.
Well, I haven't done anything with teams yet.
Okay.
If there is, I mean, I hope there is, but I haven't done anything with teams. Like right now, it's just getting my college up off the ground.
Just these nerds dealing with school stuff.
You gotta make sure they pass. Which I don't know how you make sure they pass. Mine is just doing it because I think it starts easy at first.
You gotta pay those teachers. Harder. That's how you make them pass. You gotta get the good ones. Yeah. You gotta get the best teachers.
Yeah, I mean that's all I would think. I would think is like you're not if the teachers aren't happy or something, then the students don't become happy, or the students just not happy because some students you'll see like, hey, they kind of want something. Say, hey, I want something fun to do or something like that. So I put some arcade cabinets in, or people hungry, I put some vending machines, and now I just want to unlock the coffee shop or something for them to go to.
Nice.
Yeah, I mean it's a fun game.
Those kids love their Starbucks.
Yeah, they do. They do.
Very nice. All right, Dominic, those are our new releases for the week. You got anything else for the people?
Nah, man, I'm good.
All right. Thank you guys as always for listening. You can check us out on Twitter. Dominic is at DStalworth5. I'm at RegulusMV. Podcast is at Supapod, SUPAPOD. Supapod.com is the website. You can check us out there. It has all of our previous podcasts as well as links.
Crystal Warriors. That's what it was called.
I found it. Because I was looking at that game, but I couldn't quite tell if it was. Like,
I kept seeing they kept showing Shining Force. I was like, I know it was a Shining Force. And now I found it. Yes, Crystal War. Yep, because I remember that wizard and that woman. Yep, on the front, on the
also
front
like how when I typed in Game Gear Tactics, it just brought me to Gears of War Tactics.
Yeah, Gears of War Tactics. Yeah,
I had to type in Sega.
Damn, Nintendo like gave it a 5 out of 10. Man, fuck y'all. I don't know what you're talking about. This is Game Gear game.
Don't revisit it, Dominic. You'll be in for harsh realities.
It was on the Virtual Console 2013. I didn't realize that.
Oh, really?
Oh, that's why they reviewed it.
Huh. That's funny. They're trying to give you the classics
The
back.
early reviews, Daniel, is 4 out of 5 on GamePro.
There you go. See, GamePro.
So yeah, whatever. Then we're talking about look,
source.
80% on Mega Fun in Germany, 80% from Player One in France, and 91% from Sega Force in Sweden.
See,
so there
worldwide
you go.
hit, Dominic.
Yeah, that game was good.
All right.
Yeah, like we'll probably get all the Genesis games bad reviews or something like that.
But they're on a Nintendo proper. They still hold that grudge. They're like even on this Nintendo console where you purchased it.
I guess you compare it to all these other tactics games that came out since then. Of course, I think this is probably bad compared to during what's the game you like? Advanced War.
Advanced War, yeah. Well, that's probably part of the problem too, right? Is like they don't have the nostalgia for it even. So like, think about how many old games people play that are absolute trash, but they love them because they have that nostalgia. Like, I'm sure there are ones, I can't think of them off the top of my head, but I'm sure, I mean, shit, even like more recent ones, The Force Unleashed. Like, I know that's not a great game, but I have a level of nostalgia for it. Like, even if I play it nowadays, I'm like, all right, this is okay. Until I actually do play it.
Oh my god, I'm looking at the startup of Crystal Warriors, and
you're like, this is the screen that I skipped so many times.
Yeah, it's the one with the look like Princess Peach holding a crystal ball or something. I guess because the name is so basic, I didn't really care to really remember it.
Yeah.
Crystal Warriors.
Now it's going to be emblazoned in your head for the rest of your life.
Or maybe the font. I couldn't read that font. That's what it was. Oh my god, this is getting back so many memories. Seeing this. Oh man.
Well, Dominic, you got to get into the artisanal Game Gear community where they take old Game Gears and put new screens in them, and then you can put new lithium-ion batteries in it that'll last 4 hours instead of 2.
What they did in this game, you couldn't see your enemies unless you attack them.
Oh, weird.
Like they have these question mark kids, and then you see what they are.
Right.
I'd be like,
so there's an enemy there, but you don't know what kind of enemy. Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So you don't know if they're super leveled or not, not super leveled, but because you should be relatively close. But all depends how many people you've been using, to battle.
Mm-hmm.
And I think this is permadeath. I believe it was.
Oh shit. Is this the game that ruined you on hard games, Dominic? You're like, never again. I will conquer all games from now on. All right. Yes. So superpod.com is the website. You can check us out there. It has all of our previous podcasts, as well as links to the places you can find us, including YouTube, where there's a video version of this podcast, as well as iTunes, Stitcher, Google Podcasts, Spotify, all the places that you would typically find podcasts. And until next time, guys, talk to you later.
All right, see ya.